Yes, I'm live on YouTube also. So pranams to all of you. I had almost forgotten about this, and then my mobile gave a reminder about it. So sorry for this delay, and this time is getting later and later. I understand it might be a little late for you guys, but I keep it because on the western side, some few people watch three, four of them, and they find it useful. As I told also, it is my dishwashing time. Night, bartan घिसना पड़ता है थोड़ा. So I just fully finished my washing the dishes and all that, and by 9:15 I'm ready usually. So that's another kriya that we have. Me and my mom, we sit together, we have a movie, we see a movie in the evening. That's the only time I can give her time. Otherwise whole day I'm here, but I'm never able to be with her. I'm in my own world. Either I'm working or I'm lost in my own world. So I sit deliberately for those 3 hours, whether my soul is in that place or not, in the movie or not, that doesn't matter. But it's same like watching this movie. This movie also is that way. So today is Thursday, and I have no idea what is it that we are going to go deep into, which tattva, which element, which teaching of the master. So if anybody, last time they had suggested few things, it was coming on WhatsApp, but I couldn't see it because I was busy here. Now I'm keeping my WhatsApp also open. So if anything, let me know here on WhatsApp, or you can always type down here. Yeah, thank you, Anitaji. Even if 5-10 people sit also, it's enough for me for the satsang. So you guys sit here, and that's enough. Most of the time people watch it later, the recordings, and these days I'm getting wonderful feedbacks which I used to not get before. And now things are at a certain pace. Things have strengthened itself, and it's catching well with the people. They're understanding. It took me at least 2 to 3 years for this whole thing to get settled down, because first when I began all this, there was a lot of doubt again. What is this guy up to, and all those things. So I think people test you for a long time. So they were consistently having a different look and waiting for how things are, and seeing if everything is safe, or this guy is safe, or what is it up to, and all those things. And they were cross-checking, verifying all those things. So that people walked into my life, walked out of my life. All these things happened. And one thing that I'm very grateful to the grace of my master and the grace of the Guru Mandala and the Lord Himself is that somehow I was able to be persistent in this field, very persistent in the commitment that I have taken off into. So I was happy to keep going on that end, and something kept it going. Though many times wanted to stop it, and something it happened. Then I didn't go to bother on it. Till it's possible, I do it. Till not, no. So it was that way. So today we are here again, and it's all with the grace of my master. Because if he wouldn't have come into my life, I don't know how my life would have been, where would I have been, and all those things. So everything is designed in life. Now I realize it very clearly that the coming and going of every people in your life is all designed. It's all in the blueprint. It's in the master print. Whether you understand it or not, this is how life functions. So now it's like I'm carefree. I don't worry about it. But there was a time when I was worried all the time. What, how, where, when, what. Then slowly it took me some time to understand how the divinity works, and understanding free will and then divine will, and how divine will is more powerful than free will. It took me some time to experiment and see every time I use my free will, and जैसे हम सोचते हैं वैसे चलता नहीं. दुनिया ऐसे नहीं चलती है, और अपनी जिंदगी भी ऐसी नहीं चलती है. हर हर चीज जैसे हम सोचते हैं वैसे चलता नहीं है. It takes maybe a percentage of it happens, but not 100% happens. That means If things are, we had complete free will, then everything should have gone 100% well. But sometimes we are able to create, sometimes not. What is that? Sometimes when we are creating, it is when it is destined to happen, and we align with that thought, and we say, I want this in life, I'm creating this, but it is in my destiny already. So it comes very easily, and I think I've created it. That is the catch. Very funny it is. Upadeshasaram, the grace of Arunachala has revealed lot of things in detail, and there is so much of peace and freedom in me about that, because once these things are not clear, you are jittery all the time, you're confused, you have fear, you have doubt and all this, but everything, once it is taken off, and the grace of my master, grace of that place is so beautiful that it can bestow, mark my words, Arunachala can bless you like anything. It's not a hill. It is not, don't take it for a hill. पहाड़ है वो, क्या करना है पहाड़ में. It's more than a pahad. So if you understand that, and I feel it is been understood, that is how Arunachala works. Because all these years I've been going there, and hardly I used to be there, and some few, two, three people commonly used to be there. But now I'm seeing dozens of them, very much connected, very easily connected. That's how Arunachala pulls people when the time is, and it has its own plan. God knows what is that plan, because that's divine destiny. So things are unwinding, things unwind on its own. So please let me know what can we discuss about, or what would you like to emphasize on, or if there is any lack of clarity in the teachings of my master, we can dig deep into that subject today. So Thursdays I have kept it for my master, and it was welcomed by many people when I told the idea. I said it's a good thing. They will have crystal clear clarity about many things, and I've been blessed to have that clarity in some way. So I would like to share that clarity, whatever I have got, I'll try to share it. So please let me know which aspect of the teaching is what you would like to emphasize on. Mary Liberty, why are we here? Beautiful. That was also my master's major teachings. He always said this, and he was like a reminder why we are here. His last Thursday we had discussed Tum Chate Kya Ho, what is it that you want in life? That has a deep connection with what you ask here. Why are we here? Because when you constantly keep on questioning yourself, what do I want in life? What do I want in life? What do I want in life? What is it that I want? You will immediately come to know. Immediately, eventually you will come to know. It will lead you to why are you here? Because there is a purpose. You cannot be just thrown here. You are not here by fluke. Even the birth that we take is not by fluke. Though we might think it is, we have been just thrown here, or we just came down here. No, our desires brought us here. Simple. Karma brought us here. What is karma? Karma is desire. And what is desire? What we desired in some lifetime, which we could not fulfill in that stipulated period, and we passed away. So that lied pending. So the simple reason of returning back to the Bhuloka, Prithviloka, or this earth plane, or the 3D plane of consciousness, is to fulfill that desire. So in simple gross terms, if we ask why are we here, it is to fulfill our unfulfilled desires. Anything that is unfulfilled, not just desires, it could be even unfulfilled issues of life, which you call as unresolved issues of life. There can be many issues that you have not completely cleared off, the karmic debts, these are called. Because when you don't clear the tit for tat, the cause and effect, the karma is always cause and effect. Every effect has a cause, and every cause has an effect. So that is how it's a vicious cycle. So when somebody falls into any loop, anything that you do in this dual plane, anything that you do in this dual plane creates karma, generates karma. So let's say if you and me are here and we just meet as strangers somewhere on the road, on the streets, and we happen to talk something. I'm asking you for some direction, road direction, and you tell me the direction, this is the road, and you go from there. And let's say I'm having an ice cream or a chocolate in hand, and I share the chocolate with you with gratitude, and you eat the chocolate, you relish the chocolate. Even that small accountancy is there, a give has happened. Now be ready for the take, the cause and effect. This is called any micro, from micro to macro, everything is being generated. There is a karma generated for everything. That is what we are learning very, very deeply in Upadesha Saram. How anything and everything that is done with a state of doership, feeling that I am the doer, or being in your body consciousness or ego consciousness, feeling that, taking it seriously that you have done it, creates karma. Like, for example, I said, I give you a chocolate. So I know I have given you the chocolate. I have purchased the chocolate, the ego self, and this ego self has shared it, and I feel good about it. So here is a chocolate, and I feel good that I helped somebody or gave somebody. That's enough to create karma. So anything that is done, any act, thought, work, thought or deed which is done without the sense of doership, knowing that I'm just a medium, something else is always functioning through me. If we go into that mode, karma is not generated. So in that lifestyle, it is very spontaneous. But again, coming back to the question, why are we here? The chocolate is what brought us here. Both sides. Both sides it brings. One chocolate taken is enough. Now, if I have given the chocolate, I have to come to receive it back from you. And if you have received the chocolate, you have to come back only to give it back to me. Until then, there is no escape. That's how karma works. Minutest of things to the greatest of things. Even to a murder, let's say. You get killed by someone. You got to come back to repay that killing in some form. In a murderous form only, act only. Almost similar act, tit for tat. The fruits. But the choice is always with you. How do you fulfill it? That is the whole drama about. That is the whole play about. You get, life will always present you exactly the same opportunity, what you had taken or what you had given to receive or give back in some other lifetime. And that is what, how the earth plane works. It tries to settle down the issue, settle down the debt. And that is why this earth plane is a platform for all these kind of karmic actions, the give and take. The earth plane is meant for that. That is why we say we have come here to experience life. You say anything. The people say many definitions. Some say you have come here to experience life. Some say you have come here to realize who you really are. These are all from the same point. It's all coming from the same point. It's emanating from the same point. Like, if you say I've come here to experience life, what is experience now? Experiencing what? I've come here to experience my unfulfilled desires. What can experience be? What can you be interested in to experience? Now only just think, forget afterlife, before life. Now only think, what would you like to experience in life? You would always like to experience that which you have a craving or an urge to experience. That is what is called desire. So desires bring you here, and that is why it is said you have come here to experience life. So you somewhere had that intention of that experience that brings you here. So that is another aspect. Now, if you go deeper, when you go very deeper, what happens when you experience that life? When you experience life, you fulfill that karma. You are content with it. You are done with that desire. You have completed that act. That particular karma is over. And likewise, if all the karmas one by one are finished off, what is left? You experience who you really are. Because till you have karma, till you have desires, you cannot experience the soul that you really are. Because the soul has got caught up in all these things through the ego consciousness. So until the ego is completely annihilated, how can it be annihilated? Only when the debts are cleared, it is neutralized. So how can the debts be cleared? By experience. Bhog. You experience it, fulfill it, you're done with it. So the day and the time when you are done with it completely and you have a zero balance account is the time you realize your soul. That is called self-realization. And when you realize the soul, that's it. That is what we call you have come here to experience who you really are, to find out who you really are. So all these are relating to the same life journey. So what are we here for? You can say to experience life, to fulfill our desires, to resolve unfulfilled issues, and finally, when all these things are done, to find out who I am really am and to liberate myself. The moment I find whom I really am, I'm no more bonded by karmas, and then I achieve liberation or freedom from here. So, the ultimate purpose why are we here is to attain freedom. Mary. So, when we pay our duties, we go to another plane? Not really. Not really. It is all on the equation of give and take. What brings you here on earth is all these kind of karmas that you have. And what are the closest karmas that you have is with your family members always. I always say this 7.5 billion people, and the billions have nothing to do with your life. Only a handful of people are in your life, behind your life. And all the give and take takes place only with a bunch full of people. That's all in this whole population. Why not others are affecting you? Why only these set of people whom you call as your family or close relatives and friends? These have all karmic connection with you, karmic debts. So the moment you start fulfilling all these debts, life will calculate what is left back. So if all is done, perfectly fine. But answering your question, do we go to another plane? What is another plane? These are dimensions of different kinds of, they have their own rules. Like the earth has its own rule, these planes have its own rule. Like for example, the heavenly plane or the celestial plane. The celestial plane is where you get to only reap the goodness of your accounts. For example, we call heaven and hell. So heaven, in a certain manner, it is there. It's just a plane, but that's not the final point. Like some religions point that the end is there. You go and settle down in heaven or the Swargaloka or Jannat. The end is not there. It is there is a continuation. That is again heaven is just a product of your karma again. So going to another plane also is a product of your karma. I'll explain how. So hell also in that way. There are lower planes also in the lower dimensions. So you can move down to the lower planes also only if you have that kind of a karmic account. So here let us say you have fulfilled all your give and take on earth plane. If there is pending, you will come back again to the earth plane to finish it off. Let's say you have neutralized everything. Now your balance is more. All the plus and minus, plus and minus, plus and minus that you have done. Plus means I mean merits. Minus means demerits. Papa, punya. So for papa, you reap, for a merit, you reap a good fruit or a reward. And for a negative account, you reap the fruits of pain or sin. Or sorry, the papa. Papa means sin. You get the punishment, reward and punishment, plus and minus. So the moment you are done with these reward and punishments and all that, and let's say you have neutralized it, but in the neutralization you have accumulated too much of positive. After neutralization, let's say you are only doing good deeds, you are not accumulating any more negativity. So now what is happening is your bank balances, your account balance, your karmic balance is turning only to the plus points, the good merits. So now you have accumulated good merits. Earth is a place where you come for good and bad also. The duality is there. It's a dual plane. Pain and pleasure you will experience here. So if your karma is full of pain and pleasure, both balanced, positive and negative, you'll come here. But let's say there is no negative, it's all positive. How can you become all positive? There are chances. Like for example, if you start becoming holy, and divine, and walk the path, becoming a good boy or a good girl, and then doing only nice, meritorious deeds. So, what will happen? And eventually, as you nullify all your negativity, all that you're accumulating all this while is plus, that is going up. So, negativity, as soon as you finish, you are left with this plus. And let's say your time is over on earth. The moment you are done with it, your prarabdha karma, that is called, it is over, then you are moving out of your body with all this positive account, plus accounts. Now that for that plus account, you don't need earth. Earth is for plus and minus both. So you go to a plane that relates only with the plus, and that's the celestial plane or the heavenly plane. There you get to reap the fruits of your punya or your merits. So what you are going to do in those celestial plane is there is nothing negativity in your account. So all that you get there is pleasure, goodness. So you enjoy whatever that. Your own fruits, it's not coming from somewhere. Nobody is dropping into your lap. You have generated it, and the law says whatever you generate, as you sow, so shall you reap, as Jesus said. So if you have sown good fruits, good seeds, you have to bear, you have to eat up the or consume the good fruits. So celestial plane is that only moj, only entertainment, the fruits. So you can move only to these planes depending upon the kind of merits or demerits you're taking. On the other end, if you say not positive, if you're accumulating too much of negativity or sins, then no heaven, no earth also, because earth is plus and minus it needs. So you go only to the plane where there is only negative accounts. That is, you can call hell, Naraka, Jahannam. And you go there and you reap the benefits of what. Same like what you reap on earth, you can see how it feels, the pain and the pleasure. Pain is outcome of negative, pleasure is outcome of positive. So when you go to lower, it is pain, you're experiencing it in that way. When you go to higher planes, it is pleasure. And there are many other different planes, many other. It all depends on what kind of karmic account are you creating. I just gave one example. So if you are a meditative person, and let's say there is something called Siddhaloka, for example, another. Siddhaloka is where all the great yogis or somebody who's ascended while being on earth to a greater level of spiritual maturity, and they have done their tapas or meditation or some deep work they're having here, but due to some reason they are not able to complete it, their time span is over here, then their whole intent is only to purify themselves. They have no other wishes. Purification is their only stuff. So they will have this kind of a karmic account in them that they are only looking now to complete that journey and finish it off. Either they can be born here back, or they might willfully choose, depending on their state of consciousness, to not come back to earth because here there is too much of troubles, too much of problems, too much of obstacles, and already they have only good karmas in their account. So they move up to something called Siddhaloka. So that plane is where you can finish off the rest of your karmas uh, by continuing your practices in that area. So that's only that you will find only people in deep meditation, samadhi, and all that stuff. There is no other activity here. There is nothing called bhoga. That's what we are talking about. Pain, pleasure, they're beyond all that. So they are only so thus such way there are different planes of consciousness. It all depends on what are you generating. Like there are fifth dimensional, five-dimensional planes also. So those planes have different kind of a karmic account. So it still has a lot of desires, but it's very purified kind of desires, and that field is completely different. So you have grown there, you're in maturity, spiritual maturity, and it's something like you can easily create on those planes than here because of the time and space bondages. So here you might take a lot of time to manifest if you want, because your mind is full of impurities. You can't easily manifest what you want here. but your mind is purified, let's say, and still there are desires of these kind. There are different planes where people can actually go and play top. So if they are purified to a certain level, they have access or entry to another kind of dimension, like the fifth plane of dimensions. Fifth dimensions, what do you call it? Fifth, sixth, seventh, it goes on. So their life is different. There also there can be human population and all that, but their bodies are different. Their grossness has disappeared. Here it is all stula, too much of grossness. So there you'll see their bodies are very subtle, very what do you call, made up of such a material that can just dissolve anytime, because it's just made out of that manifestation where you just think about something and it appears. That happens on earth also, but only few people can create that. Like they can create something out of something, an apple out of thin air or something like that. They know the science of the atomic configuration, and through their sankalpa also they can change or materialize certain things. But they have reached that kind of spiritual maturity, that's why they are able to do. And all those people are actually resonating at fifth dimensional level or higher, even when they are living on the earth. There are people who do that. So either they have a choice, they can use their fifth dimensional state of consciousness and continue to be on earth, or they move to that dimension which is resonating completely with fifth dimension. So that loka is completely different, because it's a little more subtler kind of dimensions. So it's not like our gross world. So it's difficult to tap into that kind of dimension until you have that kind of state of consciousness. So if you have that state of consciousness, you are able to relate with that. You can see, you can enter, you can be a part of it. So this is all dimensional, frequency wise entries. So only if you are capable of that kind of a frequency, only you can enter. Otherwise, there is no way somebody can break open that code and go there. The only thing is your vibrational frequency. So all these planes are based on your vibrational frequency. And what creates your vibrational frequency? Your karmas. How much of purity you have acquired, all these factors are there. So depending on that, you keep on moving up and down, up and down. But the whole thing, what I'm trying to say is bondage. They are not free. Even the celestial world, the celestial beings are not free. They are bonded. They have rebirths. They have not attained that pure bliss state. They have not attained the complete freedom. They are bound by something or the other. And somewhere or the other, deep, they also have a desire to liberate. That is why you can see why the mention is there is so much of mention that the earth plane is the only plane where you can attain salvation. That's the condition, that's the law, that's the celestial law, that if you want to attain the final liberation, human body is needed on this earthly plane. That is why all our seniors, all our ascended masters, all those who have experiences in this, they strongly suggest that the moment you get an opportunity with a human body, don't miss the opportunity to liberate, because you don't know, depending on your desires and karma, where you are going to be thrown next. Or your greed might make you travel to even other planes. That's also greed. Nothing, no big deal. Some requirements, some urges are there to go and fulfill that. So depending on that, you keep moving, but you're still stuck. Punarpi janmam, punarpi marnam, that is there. So the whole idea is, whichever plane you are in, doesn't matter really. Once you get the awareness of the whole drama, the cosmic play, you don't no more get interested in all this stuff. You are done with it, because it's not that you have heard a story, okay, oh, it has happened this way, no, I don't. It's not that way. It is that you have lived all these planes before. You don't remember, that's all. You have played the game many times before. It's not that you are born here only in this plane. You have traveled many planes of consciousness, had births there, taken there, experienced the best and even the worst of everything. So you are a cumulative product of your experiences. This, when you start raising up your consciousness, and when you reach certain states of consciousness, these things will be known to you. So that is when you have that knowing out of that experience, the memories, because nothing is lost, everything is there in the Akashic records. So once you get to know that, then you will not want to get into anything else but freedom, because that is the reason why many of the souls have come back on earth, especially the souls that are more riper to understand this whole thing. They are all been playing around here and there, but somehow it's their urge and desire only that they have come and been born here on earth. That is why it is very important to be reminding us of our final journey. If you see, my platforms are all about just that. Only about reminding this in various ways, but reminding is this only. So my Gurudev was always very keen and used to remind this. Not just my master, all the masters have this purpose only. If any guru comes into this life, if any ascended masters are all hovering around, if your spiritual guides are hovering around, they have no other business but to lift you up and liberate, to remind you constantly that you are here for here and nothing else. So they are here constantly to remind you, don't fall in for the nonsense which you have been falling for umpteen number of times, but you don't remember it. So they are little carefully trying to guide you through your soul agenda. And that is what many souls, even on earth, who have incarnated in different forms, are doing. You find them doing even today in different ways. So some are working through their astral bodies and some are working through their physical bodies. But they are the same light beings who are operating on different frequencies, different levels, with different soul agendas. So why are we here? That is a good question that we ask. This is why we are here for. Rest all is drama. The main purpose is to liberate, to free yourself. Now that might be very difficult to understand at this state, because the Maya Jagat is such powerful. The illusion and delusions are so powerful that you can keep glued here forever. And even if you are reminded, it can be very difficult for you to relate to these things. That is why on this path we always talk about being very careful of creating any kind of karmas or falling into any kind of traps, because we have done this before. We have fallen through all these kind of traps multiple times before, and sometimes it has tumbled like horrible. In my previous lifetime, it's happened. Tumbled down horribly due to vasanas. So once you get the kick of it, once you know how seriously these things can impact you, then you'll become serious automatically. Because that pain, if you can remember those painful moments that you went through to take this birth, if you just remember even that much, or if life can show you a glimpse of that pain that you have had in all the lifetimes before until you finally ended up here, you wouldn't choose anything other than liberation. That's how it goes. Where will the need to reach the celestial place also a desire which is negative? There's nothing called negative, Tina. There is nothing actually called negative and positive. I'm just talking from a certain point of view. I'm just relating it to you, just to talk and understand this equation of plus and minus, papa punya. On the higher and the deeper level, there is nothing called papa punya. There is nothing called this plus and minus. There is nothing called negative and positive. It is just the counter effect results of whatever you do. It is just tit for tat. You slap somebody, it is not counted as good or bad. You might slap somebody for a good reason. You might slap your child. Oh, you stole something, you might slap the child. So it is for a good reason if you see that. Positive reason. You can say positive reason. But the pain that has been inflicted on the child, that's negative. For the child, it is negative. The way the child has reacted is negative. So that has different complications, karmic complications. So it's just like you slap that child and that child has taken it very seriously. that the pain received from you. And when you slap, you have a guilt also, though you did it for good reason. That is enough. That much is enough to create an equation that you come back again to get slapped by that person, either as a child, as an enemy, as a stranger, or whatever. That is another question. But that's enough to create. So there is nothing actually negative and positive. It is just the outcome of the same. Whatever is the felt, whatever is the impact, similar impact comes back. That's how it is. Whatever you might want, you might term is that positive, negative. That karma doesn't know all that. It will just result return the same stuff. Okay, so that's one that we just discussed about. My master was very keen. He used to always talk about this. He was very keen all the time. And with my life, at least, I can see whenever I was with him, and all the time I've been with him. He was only very much keen on one thing only. He was not bothered about anything else. That I should liberate. That's all. So he used to always talk about these things, and whenever I did mistakes, whenever I did, he was furious at times, he was strict at times, he was this at time, that at time. Only thing is, his only concern was you should stick to what you've come here to do. That's all that he was concerned on. So rest all whatever you do here, that's all fine. You keep on doing your job, your work, or whatever that karma or dharma or whatever that thing is. But he was very keen on that particular one thing, that point. And it was very obvious. Many times he used to speak about it, many times he used to not speak about it, but in very indirect ways he used to talk about all these things. Just give me a moment, guys. 1 second. Well, so actually, any guru, any master is always happy when their students or their disciples or their devotees or whoever they have surrendered to them liberate or even are moving close to that, because that's their only purpose. It makes them very happy. So whenever I used to be with my Gurudev and all, I could see the happiness on his face, and it was so expressive. All these things about how he felt whenever you are on the peak of goodness or heightened state of consciousness. I can relate this with so many incidents in my life. That 7.5 years I could spend with my master, where he used to get furious when I'm not in that state, or when I did not perform to that state, or I did something that would adversely affect my journey. Uh, Either he would be very gloomy about it, or he wouldn't talk, or he would remain silent, or he would express it in some or the other way, not directly talking about it, but it would be very obvious in his actions, in his words. And there are times when I used to sin or do anything wrong, he used to just move away from me at that time. So there were many times that was his way of working. He never came and scolded, and he never asked why. But if he sensed it, he knew everything. So even what's running in the mind, he knows. So there is no hideout. You can't hide from your master anytime. Especially if that master is watching you like a hawk all the time. So it was very difficult to escape from his uh, aura, his catch. So you knew that you're responsible everywhere. And that was enough. So I could easily relate in our experiences with my master, that okay, he's happy with this state of my being, and he's not really happy with this state of my being. So by not being happy, he's just pointing me towards what I should be doing without preaching to me, without telling me. So my the journey with my master has always been very beautiful because we hardly spoke. So it was mostly a language of silence that we dealt in, and we somehow understood each other. He obviously will understand, but I somehow used to understand his grace only. What is he up to and all those things. So masters are really happy if somebody is going close to that, and they have no other requirements because it's their job. Every guru's job is to liberate, and you can see in history how much hurt masters feel when somebody goes down. The biggest hurt that a guru can feel is when their disciple goes down the road, because it's not a real good feeling, especially when there is a good bond between the master and disciple, and something happens. So it's a very bad kind of a state of situation. I can't explain how, but it's certainly not a good experience or a good feeling. You can see in history so many masters. I've talked about this so much. Bhagwan Nityananda, Sai Baba, all the great beings, even on their final time of leaving, they have had only one disappointment, that what they came to give was not taken. That just means that they had come for a purpose to liberate human beings. They have not come here to do tatastu, tatastu, tatastu to all your worldly lust, your lust for life and your lust for the materialistic stuff. But they do understand the helplessness, the the rigidity or the pull of that vasanas. They understand it, so they are little compassionate being, but they are not too interested in your worldly dealings. Real masters, they have nothing to do with your worldly stuff. So, and they're not impressed with what you do in their world. How much ever you achieve, how much ever you hold, they're not really impressed, because that is not what they came to teach you. They have come to liberate you from all those bondages. So you cannot expect any master to be appreciative of your worldly gains. They might appreciate you if you are a weakling, if you are not able to stand on your own feet, and then you achieve something out in the world, they might clap for you, because they know that's the first step towards your materialization. Now you are able to independently materialize and live on your own in this world, because only then you can materialize even your spiritual goals. So that is the only reason why they may clap, but they have nothing to do with your lust for life. Common misunderstanding what I've seen around all the time is when the masters are happy with somebody's achievement, worldly success, and they smile, or they express their happiness. The other person takes it like, oh, he's very happy with it, so now I need to continue on this. No, if you continue, then you will see their happiness fading. So that's the difference. They are they are very keen, and they are very cautious beings. The masters are very cautious, and hordes of patience. My master, I can tell you 100%, I can write it in blood and give you. My master, my Gurudev, he has infinite patience. He is a man of infinite patience. I have not seen that kind of a quality in any human being, what I've seen in my master. Infinite. There is no end to it. And it comes from that understanding of how he can just wait for even eons. I mean, I've seen people making mistakes, And I've seen him not stressing too hard or punishing them in a very bad way. Being strict and all fine, but he still waits for people to get on track. And it's okay even if it takes weeks, months, years, whatever. But he's there. So that's a rare quality, and that's a very saintly quality. That's why I say being guru and all that, this is not our cup of tea. When people say Guruji and all that, I am guru, I'm trying, not even announce close to all what they have attained. And that's a different arena altogether. It's a completely different arena where there is so much of things involved, so much of it's a huge responsibility on both ends. Huh? It's not just the master. Because if that bondage is very strong and very ethical and very rightly and divinely placed, then it's a huge responsibility on both ends. Even the disciple cannot afford to make mistakes there. It adversely affects the guru. And if I believe, if a shishya or a disciple has to can give anything back in reply in return, because you can't actually pay the debts of your guru. But it is said that the only way to clear the debts of your guru is to get enlightened, become enlightened, and liberate, because that is what he came for. So you have helped him do that, and you have made him happy, and that's how you repay that debt. So that's how it goes, if anybody can repay. But before that state, I feel any disciple, any devotee, any sadhak, any seeker, if you are really committed to your guru, if you really love your master, then you must have that responsibility to place that that name of your guru, and your consciousness, how you reflect in your daily life. You should be not falling in any areas where your guru would never expect you to fall, especially in your consciousness. That's what I'm saying. Fall means your consciousness. That should not go down. It should only keep on rising. And then the way you take up responsibility in your life to attain that final goal, that is actually your first, the steps that you take. They are the installments that you're giving back to your master. That's the only thing you can do. You can't do anything else. Anything else is all nonsense. Dakshina Vakshina is just nonsense. Dakshina is in the gross world. You can't bribe your guru for that. What he has given, you can never pay in money. You buy him a car, you buy him buildings, you donate land for ashrams, you give him big sums of money, you donate materials. It's all the grossly world. One second, my cat is crying. So these are some areas. So I don't talk on these areas much, at least not in public. But whatever I can suggest is what a seeker can do. So there I can definitely help. If that can help you in any way, I can reflect back. Now I don't want to go back into anything. Please avoid casual questions. I would always say. At least when you sit with me, do not think this guy is here for time pass and chalo ye bhi gupshup kar rahe hain, hum bhi thoda gupshup kar le. I'll literally overturn the tables and walk off. Anywhere this is. So I'm very focused on certain matters what we are talking. So let it be. I'm getting some messages here on WhatsApp and all that, which I'm not here to fulfill your casual questions. Worldly issues don't come to me only. I will never. I will. I will actually backfire and put you back straight onto your purpose. Like if you tell this is happening, that is happening, world में घर में ये drama चल रहा है, I laugh. I'm telling you. Huh? If you sign up even personal consultations to just tell me that your mother-in-law is angry with you, I will laugh and compliment her, your mother-in-law, for bringing you to the spiritual world, and say thank you to her. At least some soul is driving you out of this deadly samsara. At least कोई तो तुम्हारा बुद्धि जागृत कर रहा है. And let it be your enemy only. If Guru has not been able to do it, or you are not able to take it from the Guru yet, not understand what he is talking all his life, वो तत्व आज तक हमको समझ नहीं है और अभी भी संसार में इसी सब चीजों में पड़े हुए हैं, आपके दुख पीड़ा में पड़े हुए हैं, तो वो दुख पीड़ा जायज है. It is very good that you have those pidas, because one day you will run from there and come here to spirituality, and you will understand the nonsense of samsara one day. And one day you will understand the karmic journey, how you are only responsible. You have created that kind of a mother-in-law. You have created every single thing. Each and every nonsense that is happening in your life, you have created it. देखो 5-6 लोग भाग गए, इतना ही है इनका अध्यात्म. नौटंकी है अध्यात्म. Spirituality is just a casual time pass for some. Because you don't want to hear the truth. You want to be comforted in all that bullshit, which you call your spirituality. I don't know who has fed that to you, from where you gathered all that moss. So please don't take all these things again, because you have done enough, my dear. Enough you have done all your life. This same nonsense. You have run from guru to guru, from ashrams to ashrams, from astrologers to astrologers, from all the nonsense that you can gather, trying to find solutions, but never settling that I am the cause of this karma. And how can I settle the deal? How can I settle the karmic debt? We have never learned from the Guru. When he says unconditional love is the only way that you can. Unconditional means what? You throw your weapons now. You throw your surrender to life and you say, okay, I've learned my lesson, my Lord. Please now let me clear these karmic debts. Jo bhi bacha kucha, what is coming to me, I happily accept it. That is what Gurudev said. I accept myself. I accept everybody. What does this simple thing mean? I accept myself. What does it mean? I accept everybody the way they are. If your sasu is that, you accept it the way they are. You cannot think that by coming to spirituality, you are going to change your sasuma. It's not going to happen. It has never happened. Why build on wrong webs in life and suffer whole life? The simple tattvas, if you understand of gurus or shastras or anything, your life will just come, you'll come out of it. But the only thing is you don't want to understand that. You still want to mend and make things your own way. I want things my way. That is why I come to spirituality. That is why I do sadhana. Why? I want to change things my way. But there is no acceptance that there is something called destiny playing on our head also. There is no acceptance. I don't want to accept that. That is why when I asked my guru one day, why do people come and go, come and go, come and go? He said that is what they want. Why people come to me? Don't get serious, he said, about all these things. People don't come to me just because they love me or anything like that. They might say that thing, that's another thing. That is not what they. Everybody has something to do. Whoever comes to me needs something, wants something from me. That is why they are here. Clear it is. Funda is very, very clear. And you also understand, without wanting anything from you, nobody will come to you also. If there are people in your life, there are people coming to you, they are coming for some reason. Though they might not say. They need something, they're getting something from you. This is the whole idea, how it works. So he said, I am not concerned about those, because They come to me only for some reason. It might be health, wealth, whatever the thing might be. They come to me for that, with that expectation. Now the thing is, those who get it, they wanted health, they got it, काम हो गया, they will go. They wanted wealth, they got it, they will go. They wanted children, they got it, they will go. So they have got it, fulfilled their desire, काम हो गया उनका, निकल गए. And the rest who have come for something will come, and काम नहीं बन रहा उनका, this is not working, that is not, they will go. Both ways they will go, but they will not come. They are not the ones who will seize, I'm here for something else. So those who come with personal problems and to solve their personal problem, to Guru and to anybody they go, they will never find the light. Because I'm telling you, straight on your face, I'm telling you, I don't know how many times to tell this, but I'm telling you, nobody in this world can solve your problems. Enough. Even the best of Guru can't. If it was, line lag jati hai. Everybody would have run to that master. There would have been full, houseful. And even if you see houseful, it's not forever. Some days the house also becomes empty. You look out everywhere in the world. Why, if it is really fulfilling and 100% giving, why people come and go, come and? It is all the whims and fancies of this world. The samsara, the same nonsense it is. You get something, you don't get something. You get, you are happy, you don't get, you are unhappy. Again, the run is somewhere else. ये जब तक दौड़ नहीं रुकेगी, nothing is going to happen. And I don't want to be a part of all that same old nonsense, because I've seen my whole 20 plus years now, 22 years, I'm seeing same nonsense everywhere I go, everywhere. Even in my life, I had that nonsense, and I know it doesn't work. For my life only example, I'm telling you, it didn't work for me. I lost a lot of things in life, and I had come here for a remedy, and today what I've got, I'm billion times more happy. I'm billion times more happy I didn't get a remedy, because if I would have got remedy, I would have been back in the samsara. And that is not what it was destined for me. So I appreciate that grace. I'm grateful to that blessings. You must learn to see life in that manner. Whenever you have a problem, you are not into spirituality for solving that problem. All the time you are crying and reacting. This is happening, that is happening in life. They are troubling me, they are troubling me. What do you think Earth is then? Earth plane is full of that nonsense only. Pain and pleasure. Do you expect only pain, pleasure to be here? Then you have a wrong idea of Earth plane. Or show me one person who has only pleasure here. Including all of us, one person who has only pleasure. It is against the principles of the duality. Duality means, Earth plane means you are going to have both. And why there is both? Because you have only created that kind of karma, plus and minus. If you had only plus positive, which I explained in the start of this video, you would have been in the celestial loka. You would have not come here. You would have been enjoying that fruits. Why you're not enjoying that fruit? Why you're here? Why? Because you have got both kind of karmas here. And both kind of karmas mean there are going to be that effects. What's the big deal in accepting that? Why that imperfection, that impatience for having a perfect life? Who has given that wrong impression? I have never given that wrong impression. So if somebody is trying to ask me that, why is my life not perfect? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I did this. Why is my life not turning perfect? Why are people around me not turning perfect? Why are the situations around me not turning perfect? Then you have not understood the basic itself. Nobody said your circumstances will change. The way you react will change is what is told to you. If you become spiritual, if you enlighten yourself, if you raise your consciousness, then the way you react to the same things that you're reacting now by cripping and crying and triggered anger, fear, jealousy, revenge, selfishness, hatred, these things will change. Situations might remain the same, but the way it affects you and the way you react will change. That is what is called spiritual growth. So have the right understanding of what is spirituality. If you have the wrong understanding of spirituality, फिर पूरा जन्म इसी में जाएगा. You will keep on expecting these things only. These kind of questions, that coming here in this, what your worldly goals. What can I do about your worldly goals? Go and find out somewhere. If you're not achieving a job or not getting money, go and find out what to do. Or apply for a job, or go to a coach who can guide you, or go to an astrologer. Best. They will tell you what to do. Find out if your grahas are something, or find out if you have some doshas, and then go and do some pariharas for that. This path, what we are talking here, has nothing to do with these things. Whether you have doshas, poshas, whatever you have, it is about becoming neutral and running a neutral life. Whatever your destiny is, you have brought that destiny. So we are just talking about whatever that destiny is, you walk neutrally in that with total acceptance. Acceptance means not helplessly being accepted. No, raising your consciousness from where you become so neutral and you become so immune to all these things that you are at peace, whatever happens around you. What are examples like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi and all? Look at them. Did he not have those kind of disease and those kind of situations? Bhagavan Nityananda did not have, Sai Baba did not have those kind of situations. I'm not saying you should be that, but there are inspiration, there are role models. Your own guru didn't he have illnesses in his body? But do you see his spirit gone down? His body must have gone down. Have you seen his spirit gone down anywhere? Don't you notice this neutrality that he's going through? That's achievement. That's what the spiritual goal is about. But if you think I have a physical body, I have become spiritual, and I'm going to be immortal, and nothing is going to happen to this body, that's crap, whoever told you, or however you got it into your mind. Look around and look at the examples, you'll come to know. So what you can gather from them is neutrality. Their ability to be affected by nothing. And why do you get affected? You don't want to investigate. Nobody wants to investigate. People come and sit with me again and cry for their children. My children is doing that, my father is doing this, but it's your damn nonsense attachment to them. Why don't you understand that? That pain is coming from your attachment. You don't want to give up that attachment. You want to entangle all the cords with all the people. मुक्ति तो दूर की बात, यहाँ ही मुक्ति नहीं है, लोगों के साथ मुक्ति नहीं हो रही है. आत्मा की मुक्ति छोड़ो. People only are unable to let loose, unleash. चेन से सबको पकड़े जकड़े हुए हैं, सबको कमांड कंट्रोल करते हुए, या वो आपको कंट्रोल करे बैठे हुए, एक दूसरे के साथ चेन लगा बैठे हैं सब अटैचमेंट के नाम से, और सब अध्यात्म प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं. व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन दैट? नथिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन. People do not even want to listen to that aspect of that attachment. Whenever we talk, they will turn a blind eye, as though they are not heard. They will hear everything, but when it comes to that attachment word, there is a beep sound. They have not heard it somehow. And how are you going to expect solutions when you are not hearing what you have to hear, and you are expecting to hear what you want to hear? And that is precisely what I will not talk, what you want to hear. I will tell you what you do not want to hear only. Even if you pretend you are not heard, I'll pretend that you heard it, and I'll tell you again and again. Because otherwise it's not going to help. Let me tell you very clearly. If we have not understood basics, there is no point going to read or even thinking about liberation. Stick around, enjoy, or bhog, have more bhog. Nobody's asking you, nobody's forcing you for liberation. You can enjoy. Who's asking you? Is there any command? Is there any demand? Is there any rule that by 40 or 50 I should get into? No, you can be 80 also and still stuck. Nobody will ask you about it. There is no force. So complete whatever is what you want to complete it fully. At least wahan to commitment 100%. if not on the spiritual path, at least in the bhoga, at least be completely there. And I'm telling you, if you're one pointed even in that, today I was reading Osho's words. He said, if your awareness is fully 100% in whatever, it doesn't matter whether positive, negative, all those things. Even if you're angry and if you're 100% angry, 100% फुल्ली एंग्री। हम ऐसा नहीं करते। एंगर रहता है, फिर उसमें गिल्ट रहता है, फिर उसमें थोड़ी दया रहती है, फिर उसमें थोड़ी, ऑल these मिक्सचर इमोशंस है, इट्स नेवर कंप्लीट। So what he said was very true. If you can 100% be just that and in that state. And sorry, this was not Osho, this was Jaggi Vasudeva. Let me see if I have that. So these are actually secrets what they reveal. Sometimes while talking, these saints actually they just reveal these things. You should be very careful to catch it because very rarely it comes out of them. One second, I think it's here. No, I don't get it. Maybe I lost it. But it was a good, very good saying that he said if you are 100% involved in that completely, if it is anger and if you are in there, he said you'll dissolve it. If you are 100% in love, you can dissolve into that. You'll just penetrate through that, and you will never be in that dual plane. So it means if you are committed and if you are even 100% in your bhoga, at least something will turn out. But you are neither there, neither here, all scattered everywhere. Half of little spirituality here, half of spirituality there, a little bit of liberation tattvas, a little bit of bhoga tattvas, a little bit of mystical experience tattvas, a little bit of siddhis tattvas, a little lure here, there. Nothing is going to happen. You are spread out everywhere. You're scattered like an octopus everywhere. It's not going to happen. And what are we talking here? Very serious. And that is why I'm getting stern when it comes to this topic. Here we are only talking the deeper aspects of why and how to get liberated from the sansaric ties, the worldly ties. Simply we are talking that. When I'm talking, doing so much of videos on unconditioning your mind and talking about detachment, vairagya, desirelessness, all these things, and then suddenly comes and asks, if I have this desire, what I'll do? Go and eat it. What else can be done in that? And somebody comes and asks me, why am I getting this desire again and again? I'm trying to take my mind off why it is happening. So if somebody can't get over a gajar ka halwa, मोक्ष हलवा समझाएंगे. They have taken moksha also like halwa only. And simple things like gajar ka halwa, they are not able to get over. Why is that my mouth waters all the time when I see gajar ka halwa? When I think of it, I want to come out of it. So now I'll leave everything and I'll make videos on how to overcome your gajar ka halwa habit. Live I'll do 4-hour session. Or maybe a webinar will do for that. Sit and do a webinar. How to overcome your gajar ka halwa. See, this is one reason I prevented from doing the Chitakasha Gita live. Because we have just, and because something while I was on this journey, Tiruvannamalai, came very strongly to me. How certain tattvas are so beautifully hidden by the great masters. And Ramana himself is saying, see, Ramana is very careful, he's very cautious in all these things. He's not just talking that everywhere to every people. So because he's got all kind of people around him, including his disciples were all type. Like one of his disciples was even a yoga practitioner. He gave mantras to some people. Bhagavan Ramana. Now, why? What is the need of mantra? He could have given Upadesha Saram to them. Shortcut, hai na? Seedha, direct. Hey, leave all this. What mantra tapa, tapa? What is this karma yoga? What is all this? See, your final direct marga is this Upadesha Saram. Take this. Why he didn't give? Very deep reasons. Because if you are not ready for it, there will be indigestion. and they can be even adversely affected. They're not ready for it. So then I thought, who am I to reveal it out to the public? Because I have access full-time here, Wi-Fi access. It doesn't mean I sit here and keep on doing these things. Who am I to do that? And if it was really there, it would have all been out very clearly. It's not there on that scale. That is one reason I pulled back even Chitakasha Gita. Who am I to reveal all that? And if something is doing through me, then let it do it in the right way. I know this is what the right way is. Because there are right people on the other side also. There are people who are ready for it. So, and that has always been in this world. There have always been people who are right, worthy of it, completely worthy of it, in so many times. Now I'm not checking anybody worthiness, I don't know, but somehow whatever I'm doing, I know it's some certain things are happening, all these webinars and certain, I'm putting some amount to something. I don't even sit and calculate these things. Sometimes it comes like petty amount, sometimes it comes like a larger amount, something normal. I don't know what factors decide that, but at the end I see that whatever has to play the role, it will play. And previously I used to do all these things very openly. Now I'm not doing it. Here I am there, all doing these things. Whatever I have to do, I'll do. But those things which is meant to be, let it be. And who has to get it, however they have to get it, they will get it either through me or through somewhere. It's not that only I'm taken the license and sitting. They will get it from somewhere. So we are nobody to decide all these things. This came on very deeply in Tirunamalai. And then on Good Friday day, when I was reading the Tattvas of Jesus, there also he 2-3 times he has mentioned in the Bible, and it was revealed that Jesus did not speak many things directly. And I saw my Gurudev also didn't speak so many things directly. There's so many things that he used to talk to me, but I've never heard him talk on the mic. There must have been a reason, very clearly. Very, very clearly. And I know if I speak all that, there will be simply unwanted things going on. So now I understand and respect those things. Why everybody does it the way they do it. So we don't want to get into all that. So it is because of these kind of things. You can see here there is no value, there is no respect for all those things. You can, like Jesus said, people will trample on the truths that you speak, and they will turn against you and persecute you. So this I have seen in happening in my life also, where my own people have stood against. There have been so many people I've walked my whole life with so many people, and suddenly people turn against me. Suddenly people, those who are so nice, I don't know why, उनका फितरत change हो जाता है, and the approach changes, everything changes, and so many things happen. I'm not bothered about it, but I can see these patterns happening very clear. हर एक पड़ाव में, every milestone I'm seeing, when it happens, people change suddenly and with no reason. There is no reason why things happen. So I can understand it's the vibrational frequency things and all happening and all those things. But I'm telling you, there have been people who have turned against also in that, without doing a single thing to anybody. I've seen some people suddenly getting up and going against these things that I'm doing, or wanting to try to stop this somewhere or the other. I don't know what is the Western, but there are all these kind of things are there. So these platforms, what we have, very open, public platforms are like public toilets. Really, I mean it. I'm not telling everybody is that. You don't know who is what. I'm telling now also people, there are some just to eavesdrop, just to check on what they're doing, and then they keep reporting. This guy is doing this guy is doing that. That also is there. So that nonsense I've stopped now with these kind of webinars. Completely stopped. Why would anybody pay and come and sit there to eavesdrop on me? And I know every single person who's sitting on the other end. So there is no chance now with webinars. Thank God. I think. And now they are only like against on that. Oh, he's charging. He's also got into money and all that. You say whatever you want. I'll do whatever I want. That, so it's not that I'll suddenly get skeptical about it. I know why people are doing all those things. Now nobody's talking 3 years. I never charged anything. 3 years, how I ran my life. Did anybody come and ask me? Did anybody come and ask, have you had the next meal? Or where is your next meal going to come from? Though I had no source of income, 3 years almost, and I didn't go for anything. I used to just put, anybody wants to donate, okay, fine. If you feel it's helping you, and there were kind souls that regularly donated also. They felt they should donate, they did it. 2, 3 of them were very regularly doing it all the time because they appreciated what they got. And I know they are not the ones who's doing it. Is the divine who's taking care of everything. I know that one takes care of everything through people or through any resources. My guru also took care of me so many ways, though he never claimed it. All these 3 years, he has been a major player. He's got his own cunning ways to do things because out of his love. I know it because he doesn't want. Cunning means that. Cunning means without knowing, without taking any credit for it, indirectly do. That is what I meant by cunning. Now don't go and report, like, there's somebody told cunning and all that. If you want, you report. This video is available. भाव पता चल जाता है. What is the things? So all these 3 years, I never charged anybody a single penny. That time nobody came to ask me about it. And now when I'm charging about it, you want a balance sheet for it to be given? What nonsense world is. So this is all very funny. This is why you literally want liberation. if, if there is no other reason for liberation, such people are enough. And such people are everywhere, even in your own life. You can see in your lives also. Why do you think you are just come here for liberation? There has been some situations in your life also that drove you crazy, and that you said fed up with this nonsense of life. Many people tell me this when they sign up for this personal consultation. They say, "What a circus I am stuck up in." At least you are accepting you are stuck in some circus. Now, nobody pushed you into the circus. You brought us. Now you are repenting. Okay, that's good. Because that repentance will make you do something. That repentance will make you do sadhana, meditation, join a group or join a guru, take some upadesha, take some guidance, do some meditation, tapa, japa, whatever you're doing. At least you have run away from that thing and are trying to desperately come out of it. That's good. That's what I'm telling. Whenever somebody tells me this problem, I will laugh. Wow, here's another opportunity for you to now seek what you have come here to seek. But you don't show me that, because I'm not interested in your drama, whatever. I have enough drama in my life. Why should I be interested in anybody else's drama? It's full of drama everywhere. This whole play only is a drama. But it takes so much time to understand that. Once you understand the comedy of this, life will become comedy. You will simply sit laughing most of the time. All the happenings. Then you don't take serious. See, that is what I'm teaching you. I've told this in many of my quotes also. Don't take life so seriously. At the end, whatever you do, pani pherne wala hai. Whatever you are building on this world, building not just buildings or house or even building relationship, building name, fame, all those things, whatever you're building is just castles out of sand. रेत पे बना रहे हो आप, रेत के घर बना रहे हो सब. एक दिन गिरेगा, एक दिन पानी फेर जाएगा, जानेगा. So when you really know this is going to all collapse one day, you take it seriously. Fool, it's a mood person to think that this is going to be forever. And all those people who are crying and cribbing and crying and cribbing and crying and day and night, pareshan, and minds are restless, they can't sleep, they can't eat. So much seriousness. Serious with their life, serious with all the things happening in their life. So seriously. And when I tell them where is that seriousness coming, they don't like it. Then I tell them crying or feeling bad for your life is ego. It is coming from that ego. Then they will not like it. then I don't want to talk about it. What is the source of that? Body consciousness. When you become more rooted in this falseness of life and take it so serious, it shows how much ego strong, how much that body consciousness has become jada, that you have taken it so strong. You take things personally, you feel hurt. Oh, this is so much. I understand. As a human, you might feel it, but if you are catching, holding on to that, unable to release, bottled up and struggling and trying to fight it out, then need a session for that. Why do you need all that struggle? You simply live in awareness and you'll see your life unwinding itself, because living in awareness is living not in the mind. All these actions and reactions, what you're telling, is all mind game. So if anybody is trying to sign up personal consultation to tell me the world dramas, I run away. I have not changed the form also very clearly, and I have made it very clear. I'm not going to teach anything in there. No personal attention. That give me a session. Let I want to go into deep and all. Then attend a webinar. You do it there. There's something, if it is very conflictive, you are confused something, you want light on that. That only certain cases only we are looking into it. Because this is never ending. You will become handicapped. All the time you have a problem, you want a personal consultation. Then that tool only is becoming a bondage for you. That tool is meant to liberate you, but now that tool is becoming a bondage for you. What is the use? And we have made enough of our tools bondage. All the tools that we have picked up till today, meditative tools and spiritual tools, it has become our bondage today. Look, sabki haal dekho. What was supposed to save them, they're sinking with that only now. Wait, they can't bear the weight of it. Isn't it foolishness then? What is supposed to liberate us, that weighs us down. So simple, if you just understand simplicity of the Guru Tattva, the teachings of the Guru, so simple, so plain. That is why I thought every Saturday, Thursday I will come and sit and try to explain this very simple. Actually, they're very, very simple. I don't know, everybody has blown it out of proportion and they make it seem so great. There's nothing great in that. It's very, very simple things. If you approach these temples as very humbly and very simply, they will just open up like a chocolate wrapper. The wrapper will just open up and you can just take the chocolate and eat. It will be that easy. Like if you approach it like a child, very, very simply. Tina Tagi, Tiruvannamalai is a place of realization. No, Tiruvannamalai is not a place of realization. You are the place of realization. Realization happens within you, not in Tiruvannamalai. Tiruvannamalai has nothing to do with it. This is same like that concept like Varanasi, where Gurudev used to say, Varanasi. They say if you go and have Dubki in Varanasi, it's moksha, granted. Yes, that's a common belief that is there. Or they say if you die in Banaras and then if you're cremated on the ghats of the Ganga Ghat, then you are mukta. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Then all the crimes I can do in life and go and in the last old age I can go and lie down there. That's not going to save my destiny. Destiny is destiny. It has not spared Lord Rama. And you think just by having a dubki it is going to save you? Tiruvannamalai also is not going to save anybody. I'm telling this very clearly. Many are living in that hope. I'm not talking to you, Tina. Don't mistake me. There are many who go there and thinking that Tiruvannamalai will save me and I do any nonsense that I want. I live in my all my ignorance and Tiruvannamalai will keep washing me. No. Tiruvannamalai is a place where things multiply. You do things in the right way, that multiplies beyond your imagination. But you do the opposite, that also multiplies. Boomerangs. These are places that only amplifies what you are. So Tiruvannamalai or any other holy place can grant you salvation, but you have to be reflective. You have to be in that frequency. With that pure intention, when you go there, it amplifies that intention and that purity level multiple times. Then you suddenly see a blast happening. But if you are going there with ill intention, wrong ideas, wrong notions, like people go there and smoke, people go there and ganja पीते हैं, दारू पीते हैं, अय्याशी करते हैं, सब इधर उधर इनके उनके साथ सोते हैं. They do all those things in all the places, all the holy places. ऋषिकेश में क्या है? पूरा यही है, पूरा भरा हुआ है, गंदा कर दिया है. स्वामी रमेश जी के साथ जब हम थे वहां पे, स्वामी रमेश was there. He was telling about this. He himself doesn't like staying in Rishikesh. He said, what a pure place it was. Now it has become a place for all the weekend guys from Punjab side, from Haryana, from Delhi, and all Ayashi Chatti. So that place is not going to give you nirvana. Your state of mind will give you nirvana. When you go with that state of mind in such places, it will amplify. That is why I said realization will not happen, salvation will not happen in Tiruvannamalai, salvation will happen within you. And it will depend on how you carry yourself where. That is why Gurudev used to say, if in Banaras, in Varanasi, if you take the dip, holy dip, where the Triveni Sangam is there, three rivers are meeting, holy place, he simply asked a question, why are the fishes not enlightened there? Why are the fishermen not enlightened? So many people move around in those areas. All kind of people are there. Why are they not getting salvation? It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. See, even there is a saying that you take the name of Arunachala and that's enough. Just taking the name of Arunachala. Do you really think so? I'm not challenging the scriptures. It is all mentioned in the Puranas. But there is one underlining statement that is not being clarified there, is that your intention matters. If you are thinking something very foul and you want to create a bomb blast somewhere, and then you are saying Arunachala Shiva, do you think you are going to get spared just by taking the name? Intentions matter. Maybe that is not mentioned there, but I am very sure those things matter. So don't take all these things just for face value also, what you hear. It has to have that substance very clearly. So somebody today in the start, when I said about Gurudev's teaching, I said, yeah, if anybody is interested in this Upadesh Saram, then you can. Now Saturday there is day after tomorrow. Saturday I have kept it only for the Western world, and Sunday I have kept it for the Indian people. 2 to 8 p.m. Hindi Sunday, those are comfortable in that. And English I have kept it Saturday, 15th April, from 6 p.m. to midnight. Midnight is not a big deal. We already sit every day till midnight. So you might feel, oh, it's late. No, we do almost every day. I'm doing live till 12 o'clock. That's not a big deal. But there, Upadesha Saram is something that is revealing all these teachings and all those profoundness very crystal clear. It opens up everything. I just put a brief write up on that. What is so it might shake up our beliefs, because we were thinking, oh, this is everything. Karma Kanda is everything. And this kind of a modest, what you call the gross living is everything. You do seva, you do these things, it's enough. Yesterday in the session, while I was doing with the Rishi Gurukulam team, they were asking me all these things. So do you think seva is not going to, it works. Karma yoga is very beneficial, but that's the starting stage. Do you think Padayatra will not? It works. But after a certain stage, it will not work. The effect of that is over. Padayatra, all those things, the more gross you do, anything that you do with your gross, seva especially, is to thin the ego. Simple concept is to make you humble. So becoming more humble means becoming purer. So it is purifying you. All these things are purifying you. It is needed. It is needed for whom? It is very gross. How will you know who is made for who? Depending on their tendency only, they will be attracted to those kind of paths. Automatically. Somebody will not have interest in anything else. They will say Karmi Yogi. I want to do only this. Go and feed people. or I want to do some humble acting like chapal seva, I'll do that. Or I'll go to old age homes and do some seva, or I'll take care of animals. This is all gross sevas. It all comes under the karma yogi. But that is the first stage of purification, when automatically you are drawn to that. But then over a period of time that will go on, and then you will get more into devotion and all these things. And it goes on step by step. That is what the Upadesh Saram opens up clearly, step by step, step by step. And it even explains on every point what happens. So till the first 15-20 verse, it's all talking about the karma yoga and the bhakti yoga. Then after that it intensifies from there. How when it goes into Raj yoga, what is the superior kind of meditation? So there is a certain kind of meditation that you do. Oh, good enough. But next step it says, next verse it says, that is nothing. This kind of meditation is superior. The next verse it says, this meditation also is useless. This kind of meditation is superior. So it goes on, superior. What is more superior? What is more powerful? What is more raising your consciousness? And finally, it keeps on shedding out all those things which you did. Okay, you go to the next, go to the next. Finally, even that meditation thing is dropped. All meditation goes. Then it is all into the self matters and all those things. And there also step what is superior in that also it goes. So it is refining to that extreme. The second batch that I did there, we had that fortune of going till that extreme and understanding those things. First batch we couldn't complete most of the things. So, but I won't be doing this Upadesha Saram regularly in Tiruvannamalai also, because I believe that was what it is. Now I don't have that calling to do it in Tiruvannamalai anymore. So the next batch in Tiruvannamalai, June, is going to be something different. And July also is going to be something different. July I've kept it only for the Mumbai team who are coming from there. They're all Rishi Gurukulam people. See how that is also. I came to know Rishi Prabhakarji used to come to Ramana Maharshi. Somebody shared a video of Rishi Prabhakarji who was talking about Ramana Maharshi. See the connections, how they are. Their Gurudev also is somewhere there. In the Ascended Masters, they are guiding there. And that is what precisely happened, I believe, because Manoj, the first time I had gone there, he was telling me, I don't know why this guy has come, but I know my Gurudev has sent him here. Let us find out why he has come. That is how it all began. And even I had no idea. Now I can see what their connections are, where they are ending up, and all those things. Almost how it works, what is happening in the background. But it's working, all those things. So Upadesha Saram, I don't know if I'll regularly do this also. I'm not very keen. Maybe this is the only batch I'll do, Hindi and English. Because some people were always feeling that, I'm not able to come to Tiruvannamalai. How that? Can you do this webinar? I said, okay, no problem. If you have less people, so just finish it off once. So if you are planning to do, just finish it off now, because I'm not sure if I'll do this, repeat this again. And in Tiruvannamalai also, I'm not going to do it. The Upadesh Saram. That was meant to be in the last trip. Now I don't know what it is. I don't know the curriculum. Until we go there only, we'll find out what it is going to happen. So that's how the plan has been always. So somebody here was asking in the start, and I was asking about, yeah, Aishwarya Akash. Are you still there, Aishwarya? If you have slept, then I'll not answer. Just a minute. And I'm so happy seeing these families also coming now. Their children, they're coming and they want to involve their children. I know there's one family and there's three, four children. They all want to come. Five of them. Yeah, okay, Aishwarya. Five of them want to come for Tirunelveli. And there from Pune, I have another set of people. Melin, Natisha, and their daughter. They want to come with and they insist their daughter should be there. And then we have Vishal, Preeti, and her daughter Kali. They are also wanting to come. And she's a grown-up teenager. But I'm told she's very interested and fascinated in Upanishads and she will love the retreat. I'm so astonished to see these young generation guys catching up on this and talking so serious stuff, which अच्छे अच्छे को मैंने देखा है जी. आई नो इवन इन द स्पिरिचुअल फील्ड आई हैव सीन सो मेनी पीपल 10 years 20 years so called seniors, they have not even come close to even having an interest to all these things. But here we are finding next generation children are already working on this. Imagine these kids are going to sit for something like Upanishads are, I don't understand if they are going to take that also. I don't understand. Then I said, why should I put my head if there are going to be kids also involved in it? Let it be. So, but there is something definitely in the air. Something is happening. I can see everywhere. There is sudden rise of this consciousness, sudden this rush towards deeper aspect, and sudden rush towards even liberation. People are getting more conscious. What 4 years back, 5 years back, there was no much interest in this area. Now people are very much having inclination. So Aishwarya, you asked Har Hal Mein Khushi. Har Hal Mein Khush is today also I was having a personal consultation and I was talking to the person. And just now, sometime before only, I mentioned to you, it is about neutrality. If you are always in the complaint zone, this is not right, that is not right, this is not happening, that is not happening, I still have trouble, my mind is troubling me, my mother-in-law is troubling me, my neighbor is troubling me, my dog is troubling me, my government is troubling me, everybody I am troubled. And what is Har Hal Mein Khushi? My Gurudev had a simple, and my Gurudev and Rishi Prabhakarji, when I'm matching, wow. Main Siddhant of my Gurudev was हर हाल में खुश रहना. हर हाल, did he say सुख में खुश रहना? सुख में खुश. He said हर हाल, सुख हो या दुख, you have to be happy. How can you be happy when your हाल is not बुरा हाल है? Until you're neutral, you cannot be happy. Neutral means it doesn't affect you. Then only you're blissful from within. Inner cheerfulness is there, whatever the situation is. And that is what I'm precisely talking here and teaching about. Move into that being center. Center yourself, align yourself. Come to that zone of non-duality. जहाँ चक्की नहीं पीसती है, जहाँ कीली कली कीली. The center is there where चक्की नहीं पीसती है और safe, बाल ना बाका हुए. That is that place of हर हाल में खुश. When I went to Rishi Prabhakarji's ashram to take that retreat, the first big teaching that was written there, big letters, everything is okay. I said, ये तो exactly ditto is my guru's teaching. So I came to know he was always on that punchline. कुछ भी हुआ, everything is okay. हर हाल में खुश. So if you go to somebody who is practicing or in this state of हर हाल में खुश or everything is okay, and if you tell that person, my mother-in-law is shouting, what will he say? He'll never think about why is she shouting. He'll laugh. खुश होने वाली बात है. And he'll ask you also to laugh. It's all about that thing only. This is Jivan Mukta. You don't have to battle out your karmas. You don't have to battle out people. You don't have to sit planning and designing your life and creating all that ruckus in your mind and then keep worrying about all those things. How to handle life, how to handle life, how to handle life, how to handle life. Who's this one who's handling life? The ego, the doer. How do I handle? So you handle. If you think you're handling your life, you handle. If you think that you are not the handling, there is some other, then give that handle to that handler. Let him take over the handle. That you can't give, then handle. फिर तो होए, दुख होगा ही. साबुत बचाना कोई, चलती चाकी देखकर दिया कबीरा रोए. दो पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचाना कोई. ये डुअलिटी के बीच में कुछ भी अस्तित्व नहीं बचेगा तुम्हारा, पिस जाएंगे. और जो कीली से लांग रही बाल ना बाका. Simple teachings, so simple, straight to the point. And these teachings also simple. What Gurudev is saying. Now, हर हाल में खुश कितने लोग समझ पाते हैं उसको पता है. बोलने के लिए रट्टा मारे हमने. Like whenever we say हर हाल We say they will tell the rest. But if you understand the tattva, how to come to that state of Har All Push, you find any method that doesn't matter at all. Whichever method you do, it is like you come to that state where you're neutral. I'm not saying everybody is neutral, but at least practice to be neutral. Practice aligning to that center. Most simplest way that I found is awareness. More you expand your awareness, you are lost in your own awareness. You have nothing to do with your mind, ego, and the people's egos and people's mind. You are reason about all that. You are in your अपनी दुनिया में मस्त मस्त मौला अपनी एक दुनिया आपने क्रिएट किया यू आर इन दैट फिर लोग फिर लोग ये बोले वो बोले बोलने दो then what will happen if you sit in that awareness. One girl told me I was sitting in awareness 10 minutes 20 minutes 40 45 minutes I was in that no thought complete blank. Then I saw some dull things happening. Then one thought came to me suddenly, and it just questioned, "How long are you going to sit like this? You have a family to take care of. Are you going to sit like this forever?" And then it said, "Oh my God, I have to." And then she said, "After that, my mind has not stopped. Continuously, please help me. What to do?" From that, many hours have gone by. Now it's continuously churning. It's not stopping only. So who's the one who got worried now? The handler. How to handle my life, how to handle my family, how to handle my everything. That handler got worried. That understanding has still not come. Like there is something else that is more smarter than me. More, an infinite time, billions into infinite times, smarter than the little brain that I have, in which is my little ego concealed, and which has become so big that it claims that whole life is centered around me. It will always say the life is centered around me. Tina, why did you take off that message? Even if you take out that message, it is recorded now here. The Tiruvannamalai can never grant you salvation. So Tina said, I take my words back. So the handler is the one who was actually suffering. I told her that she couldn't understand. I said, it's okay. When you have to understand, you'll understand. We'll get into the practice. Because if your teacher, if your guru, if the world, if your mentor, if all these people cannot teach you, the best teacher is life. That is why even the best of gurus also they push you into life. Jao, seekho, जाके seekho, because there is nobody more powerful than the guru, than the life. Life is the biggest guru, and everybody who appears in your life is your guru. I was once talking to a lady in personal consultation, and she was bothered by so many things that her husband was doing. And she said her husband, previously I was following my master, now also I follow my master. She was talking about Shivyo. She said that I'm into it still, but my husband is no more into it. He has lost interest and he's doing whatever he wants. He has his own guru, whatever. And she also said, I have acceptance on it. No problem. I understand. I'm mature enough to understand. It's his decision. Let him do it. My decision, whatever I'm doing. I asked him what is the reason that he's not interested. He said, no, he's got his own way and he has been doing it from before. Just for me, he came there. He came and he got into some of the programs, and then for a few time he was there, and then he moved on. I was still investigating any particular reason. He said his concept, my guru's concept is very simple: total acceptance, total forgiveness, unconditional love. I accept myself the way I am. I accept everybody the way they are. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive everybody for whatever they did to me. I love myself unconditionally. I love everybody. These are the things that was which I have understood from him. But he said, I don't think I'm still ready for that. And he said, I have my own guru. His guru has expired, a great saint before. So he's just doing some bhajan mantras, whatever he's there, or seva is doing there in that ashram. But he said one thing, your gurus, this one is there. I like that, but I'm not ready for it yet. And he said, I'll follow it completely when I'm able to walk on these simple foundations. He said, I'm practicing. So let me practice to get there, where I'm 100% forgiving myself, others, accepting myself and others, loving myself and others. Till then, I cannot boast too much about it. So let me just practice on that. But you practice whatever you feel like. So she was little upset. That's not happening, and I wish. So the conversation went on, went on, went on. And then in between the conversations, she said, but my sometimes when I get not really aligned to what I'm doing, my husband comes and asks me only one thing. Okay, I am not doing all this sadhana and all these things, but you are all the time into this sadhana and all that. But you are still in that reaction. I pointed out to her, you are seeking your guru, you are practicing no doubt, and you are still stressed out for whatever reasons, internal reasons they are. But I am telling you, your guru is working through your husband. You have not understood the Guru Tattva yet. Guru is not one person in the body sitting and giving lectures. It is a Tattva. Just like the cosmic intelligence. It's a very intelligent element. It knows how to get the work done. I said, the person who's saying, I have not yet practiced it, I am practicing. And you say he is a calm person. He tolerates me. He has no problem. I only keep pampering, what you call, what is that called? Grumbling. I only keep bragging and grumbling things and all, but he's a very tolerant person. He's very neutral. He is in his work and all those things he's doing. I said, my dear, do you know one thing? You said you're doing forums, you're doing the Shiva Yoga practices all these years, very dedicatedly, and you say your husband has not been doing. Let me tell you, he's the one who's doing it rightly. And you are not doing it rightly. Though he is not claiming to be connected to the Guru or anything like that, he has that respect and audacity, but he is already following those practice silently because that tattva is working on him very nicely. I said it is not in the doing, so much of doing. I do this, I do this, I do 10 things from morning to evening. I spend so much of time in doing my sadhana. Not in that. Simple. What I said, spirituality is very simple. The teachings of the Guru are very simple, foundational. If you catch it, you have caught everything. Rest all is tools for us to break our ego. That's all. When we become too rigid and we cannot understand these simple teachings and simple fundamentals, then the Guru hands over, okay, take a sword and start cutting yourself. No, one sword is not enough, take another sword. Take dagger also. Take an arrow also. Take a spear also. Start bruising yourself and finishing the ego. That is how it works. That is what the Himalayan yogi told me. True. Jitna jatil karm, utna jatil tapasya. You can see how it is related. The husband is not doing the tapasya like you, but he's following that marga, exactly what he has learned. And he's respecting. He said, this is what I have learned. That's all. He has not taken anything else from my master, just these three teachings. And he said, until I perfect this, I am not going to do anything else. Somebody who's got the tattva right. Until you can digest what that simple fundamental, the basics, he's telling, I don't want to go ahead. And what are we doing? We have crippled the basics. We have trampled all the basics because of the greed of doing something higher. So we want level 4, level 10, level 30. Level 1, hey, हम उससे ऊपर है. We are, 10 years I'm into this. What do you mean level 1? वो तो अभी जो आए उनके लिए. बट अभी जो आए वो तो कहीं आगे पहुंच गए आपसे, वो लेवल 1 में ही. और आप लेवल 30 करके भी लेवल 1 की वो ब्लिस ढूंढ रहे हो. Simple fundamentals. I'm clearly opening these things. Very, very simply I'm talking about it. हिंदी में भी समझाओ भैया. अरे भैया, आपको हिंदी में समझाए, उर्दू में समझाए, इंग्लिश में समझाए, नहीं समझ आएगी, छोड़ दो. क्योंकि इतना मुश्किल नहीं है समझने की. अगर मैं आपको पूछूं अभी मैंने क्या बताया, आप अच्छे से बता सकते हो मैंने क्या बताया. इंग्लिश में, अंग्रेजी में रात में, ये अपनी एक मूर्ता है कि अपने को ऐसे ही सुनना है कन्वीनियंस से. वर्ड्स भले ही आपको शब्द कुछ समझ नहीं आया होगा बड़ा बड़ा. मैं थोड़ा ज़्यादा फेंकता हूँ इंग्लिश अंग्रेजी, वासना ज़्यादा है तो समझ नहीं आया होगा उस चीज़ का, लेकिन तत्व तो बहुत हो गया ना. अब ये 3 सिंपल फंडामेंटल की बात कर रहा हूँ. एक्सेप्टेंस, फॉरगिवनेस, लव. 3 गुरुदेव का 3 टीचिंग के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ. ये 3 तत्वों पे आप अध्ययन करो, चिंतन करो, मनन करो, जो भी करना है करो, साधना करो, पूरा तप करो, पूरा उस पर करो. ये 3 चीज को परफेक्ट करो बोल रहा हूँ, मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. ये एक शख्स ने बताया, एक पति पत्नी. पति थोड़े दिन करके छोड़े बोल रहे हो, और पत्नी अभी भी कहे जा रहे सीनियर मोस्ट. तो उनको सीनियर मोस्ट नहीं, काफी दिन से पति से भी सीनियर. तो उनको अभी दुख हो रहा है कि पति नहीं कर रहे, यही करे जा रहे, सभी सारी चीजें वो कर रहे, हर प्रकार के साधना गुरु ने जितने जितने बताए सब किया, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं करते. अब मुझे इनकी फिक्र है. मैं बोला अपनी फिक्र करो, वो तो सही जगह पे है. क्योंकि उन्होंने इतना ही बोला, मुझे 3 चीज समझ में आया आपके गुरु के. उन्होंने बोला स्वीकृति हो, कंप्लीट 100% एक्सेप्टेंस. मैं अपने आप को स्वीकार करता हूँ पूरी तरह से, और मैं दूसरों को जितने भी है जैसे भी वैसे स्वीकार करता हूँ, विदाउट ट्राइंग टू कन्वर्ट एनीबडी. ये कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ऐसा है. ये अच्छा है, सुपर्ब है, ये एकदम घटिया है एक्सेप्टेड. देखो ये 3 टीचिंग में का एक आ गया, आपका गया ना, सासू माँ गई, वो गई, ये गई, बच्चे नहीं हो रहे, एक्सेप्टेंस हो गया. एक्सेप्ट आपने कर लिया पूरी तरह से, हो गया. लेकिन एक्सेप्टेंस के साथ वो बोले क्षमा. अपने आप को क्षमा करता हूँ पूरी चीज से, नो गिल्ट. अपने आप को क्षमा यानी नो गिल्ट. दूसरों को क्षमा यानी कि नो ग्रजेस, खत्म. तीसरा मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, मैंने पहले से ही इस तत्व को बोला है, तीसरे की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. ये 2 करो, तीसरा अपने आप आ जाएगा. Love will start flowing if you accept everyone the way they are. If you are forgiven, खत्म, काम ही खत्म हो गया था. बाद में क्या बचेगा? वो प्रेमी उमड़ेगा उनको देखने से भी. ऑटोमेटिकली अपने आप के भीतर से भी आप अपने आप को क्षमा करो पूरी तरह से, अपने आप को पूरी तरह से स्वीकार करो. बचेगा क्या? खुद को स्वयं आप प्रेम करोगे, दूसरा ऑप्शन ही नहीं है आपके पास. तो तीसरा करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. तो लेकिन उनके पति ने बोला, इतना तो मुझे समझ में आया आपके गुरुदेव बता रहे हैं. तो लेकिन मैं, भवानी कह रहे हैं सिंपल टू अंडरस्टैंड बट इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू इम्प्लीमेंट. ईगो कम्स ऑलवेज. तो ईगो है, तो ईगो को मारना है तो उनके पति जैसा बनना है, जो ढिंडोरा नहीं पिटते कि मैं इतना साधना करता हूँ, इतना तप करता हूँ, गुरुदेव को फॉलो करता हूँ, हर बार जहाँ जाता हूँ नमः शिवाय बोलता हूँ विदाउट फेल, हर जगह मैं बोलता हूँ, कोई भी चीज़ है तो मैं हो गया. वो नमः शिवाय बोलने से भी आपका कुछ नहीं होने वाला, बार बार बोलने से वो कुछ होने वाला नहीं. ऐसा नहीं कि यूजलेस है, बट वेन एवर यू से यस दैट तत्व वर्क्स ऑन यू, आपके शब्द से, दैट्स फाइन, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू रिजॉल्व योर इशू. If you become too fanatic with words, you can only become fanatic. बाय डूइंग एक प्रकार के आप ये करो, अपने आप की शिवयोगी कहते रहो, कोई फैनेटिक छोड़ के और कुछ नहीं होने वाले। मैं आपको अपने आप को नहीं कहता, लेकिन मैं ये कभी मानूंगा नहीं कि मैं अपने गुरुदेव की टीचिंग्स नहीं फॉलो करता। तो फॉलो करने के लिए मुझे कोई योगी का दर्जा कोई दे ना दे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। मेरे टैगलाइन नाम के पीछे गुरु का नाम डाले या नहीं डाले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। यही मैं सिद्ध करना चाहता हूँ कि बिना वो नाम के भी आप वो गुरु तत्व को फॉलो कर सकते हो। बिना आप वो शब्द नमः शिवाय बोले हुए भी आप वो गुरु तत्व को फॉलो कर सकते हो। बिना आप उनके गुणगान गाते हुए, हर बार उनकी प्रशंसा करते हुए, हर बार उनको हाईलाइट करते हुए भी आप उनके तत्व को फॉलो कर सकते हो। हर बार शरीर बहुत कोई पकड़ के उनके शरीर को ही पूजा करके उनके जो फॉर्म को है उसी चीज को जो वो खुद मना करते थे मत करना। एक तो हम बोलते हैं गुरु वाक्यम परम वाक्यम, और दूसरा वही कर बैठते जो मना कर रहे हैं। मत करो बोले उन्होंने, मेरी पूजा कभी मत करो, मेरे चित्र की पूजा आरती मत उतारो, क्लियर बोला उन्होंने, लेकिन हम कर बैठते। तो अटैचमेंट उनको है क्या अपने को है? तो ये फॉर्मेलिटीज मुझे समझ नहीं आती है। मैं वो सिद्ध करना चाहता हूँ कि जरूरत नहीं है ये सब चीजों की। या कोई वस्त्र का कपल, जो गुरुदेव वो भी मना करते थे, वस्त्र कभी बाहर से नहीं बदलना, वो बोलते थे वही बाहर का आडंबर नहीं, भीतर जैसे भी हो, जैसे भी हो, जहाँ पे भी हो, मुक्त रहो, खुश रहो। और बोलते थे हमेशा शिवयोगी यानी तुम्हारा होना ही लोगों का भला करे, होना ही, कुछ करने की भी जरूरत नहीं, होना ही तुम्हारा प्रेजेंस। तो उनका पति वो हो रहे वैसे ही, उनका होना ही उनका प्रेजेंस उतना काम कर रहा है। और इतनी स्वीकृति है उन्होंने, एक चीज पत्नी जब बता रही है तो मैं बता रहा हूँ ये तो लंबी लिस्ट है। यू मीन योर हस्बैंड इज टॉलरेटिंग सब ये सब? बोले हाँ, उनको कोई दिक्कत नहीं, ही इज वेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग। मैं बोला गुरु आए आपके घर, आपके घर उनके रूप से आए हैं, स्वीकारो उस चीज को। आप नॉट मिंसिंग माई वर्ड्स। गुरु को सिखाने का बहुत सारे सारे मार्ग हैं। गुरु तत्व जब सिखाता है तो अलग अलग तरीके से सिखाता है। मदर इन लॉ में भी आ सकता है। तत्व बोध करना है आपको, कराने का वही प्रयास है उनका। एक्सेप्टेंस सिखा के ही रहेंगे, फॉरगिवनेस सिखा के ही रहेंगे, लव सिखा के ही रहेंगे। उनके मुख से अगर आप नहीं सुने तो दूसरों के मुख से, दूसरों के लाइफ इंसिडेंट से वो सिखा के रहेंगे। तो मैं वही बोला, आपकी क्या ये है, आप बोल रहे हो मैं इतना साधना करती हूँ, इतना ये करती हूँ, वो करती हूँ, ऐसे करती हूँ, सारे सेशंस अटेंड करती हूँ का फोरम का वगैरह, लेकिन वो नहीं करते वो। मैं बोला वो कुछ ना करते हुए भी उन्होंने वो उस एक्सेप्टेंस फॉरगिवनेस लव वाले सिचुएशन में आप क्यों नहीं हो करके। थोड़ी देर पहले आपने बोला पति मुझे पूछते हैं कि आप इतना करते हो, साधना करते हुए करते हो, फिर ये कुछ और क्या कर रहे हो? पूछेंगे ही, कोई भी पूछेगा उस चीज को लेकर। ये मैंने बोला सीकर को, डिसाइपल को, डिवोटी को बहुत केयरफुल रहना चाहिए। यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल। जब आप गुरु का नाम लेके, गुरु का चित्र लगाने से आप शिष्य नहीं बनते, गुरु का गुणगान करते हुए आप शिष्य नहीं बनते। गुरु की कितनी भी तारीफ करते जाओ, हर जगह में वो शब्द बोलते जाओ, उससे कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ता। आपका आचरण क्या है, आप में रूपांतरण कितना हुआ है, वो फर्क पड़ता है। गुरु तत्व आप में कितना आ गया, ये सब आडंबरों से कुछ नहीं लेना देना। तो जब ये आडंबरों से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, मैं क्यों उस झमेले में पढ़ूं? ऐसा नहीं कि मैं तत्व को नहीं मानता, वो आप जानोगे नहीं, कोई बता भी नहीं सकता, मैं भी नहीं बता सकता, कोई भी नहीं बता सकता कि वो कितने एक है मेरे अंदर। और वो सिद्ध करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है, प्रूव करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, बार बार बखान करके। वो बोलते कि आजकल तुम कुछ नहीं बोलते हो, छोड़ दिए हो क्या? तो ये छोड़ना पकड़ना अभी तक वो माइंड बुद्धि उधर ही अटका हुआ है उस सब चीजों में। ये छोड़ पकड़ क्या है? राम हमारा हमें जपे, हम पायो विश्राम, कबीरा हम पायो विश्राम। कबीर कह रहे कि अभी मैं जपता नहीं, राम 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 नहीं जपता, राम हमारा हमें जपे, हम पायो विश्राम। मैं विश्राम कर रहा हूँ, रिलैक्स्ड। वो राम जो भीतर मैं उसको जपता था, अब वो और मैं एक हो गया कि वो अपने आप भीतर से मैं राम ही जप रहा है अपने आप को। तो ये स्थिति बताने से किसी को नहीं आएगी, समझ भी नहीं आएगी मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, समझ और न समझे तो भी मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, गाली देना है तो दे दो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता। लेकिन ये है, ये ऐसी बात होती है ये सब चीजें। तो आप कितना दिखावा करते हो, कितना आप लॉकेट पहनते हो, कितना बड़ा श्रीयंत्र पहनते हो गले में, या कितने बड़े रुद्राक्ष माला पहनते हो, या कितना तिलक लगाते हो आप, या कितने बार आप नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम, जय श्री कृष्णा बोलते हो, या प्रेज द लॉर्ड बोलते हो, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बोलते हो, जो भी आप वाहे गुरु बोलते हो, या जैन जिनेन्द्र बोलते हो, कोई मायना नहीं रखता इन सब चीजों का। या अपने नाम के पीछे क्या नाम लगाते हो, या कितने आप गुरु भक्ति के गीत गाते हो, ये जताने के लिए कि कितना बड़ा भक्त हूं मैं अपने गुरु का। तो देखो रोज मैं उनका नाम लेता हूँ, और जितना मैं तोते जैसा बोलते हो, सब उनकी कृपा है, सब गुरु की। अभी मैं जब भी ये अपना इंटरव्यूज होता है या ऐसे कॉन्वर्सेशंस होता है, तो लोग तारीफ करते रहते हैं, आपने देखा हो, तारीफ करते रहते हैं, आप ऐसे गाते हो, ऐसे करते हो, मैं थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू। तो सब लोग देखते रहते हैं, ये कि नहीं बोल रहा है, सब गुरु कृपा है, सब भगवान की कृपा है, सब ये देखो अपने आप पर ले रहे हैं, कितना ये है देखो। सम ऑब्जर्वेशन है मुझे, लेकिन नहीं बोलूंगा। बोल के क्या जताना है, जो है वो मुझे मालूम है ना, क्या अंदर क्या फीलिंग है वो मैं ले रहा हूँ। तो बाहर से जिसको भी जज करना है करो। बाहर से जजमेंट हमेशा गलत होती है। बाहर से कितने लोगों को मैंने देखा, वो सब गुरु कर रहे हैं, सब बाबा की लीला है, सब भगवान कर रहे हैं, उसका जस्ट विपरीत उसी नेक्स्ट मिनट कर देते हो। ये जाहिर कर ही देते हैं कि वो नहीं कर रहे, मैं कर रहा, ऐसे हरकतें कर ही देते हैं। तो बोलने में कुछ नहीं है, बोलने में तो कोई कुछ भी रट्टा मार सकता है, कुछ भी तोप उड़ा सकता है। बोल के क्या है, गुरु कृपा है, नहीं नहीं सब। ये हम्बल बनना भी एक दिखावा है। ह्यूमिलिटी बोलने से नहीं आती है, करने से नहीं आती है, वो भीतर आपके अंदर है, तो आपको सिद्ध करने की जरूरत नहीं है। बाहर आप कैसे भी रहो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है। कर्म इंटेंशन से बनता है, भाव से बनता है। ये तत्व को अगर आपने पकड़ लिया, ये बाकी सब बाहर के जो कांड है, इससे छूट जाओगे, और इससे छूटना ही पड़ेगा। इस पद पे अगर मार्ग पे आप मुक्ति की मार्ग खोज रहे हो, ये सब ये द्वंद्व वाली चीजें आपको, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि इसको त्याग दो और बैठो, इसके झमेले में मत पड़ो, ये सब कुछ नहीं है। ये तो रहने दो, आप पहनो ना पहनो वो बात सेकेंडरी है, लेकिन तत्व को मत छोड़ो, इस चेतना को, चैतन्य को मत छोड़ना। जो भी आप करो बाहर से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, और देखने वाला वो देखता है, ये बाहर का नहीं पड़ता। बाहर दुनिया वाले देखते हैं, क्योंकि वो जज करने को उनको और काम धंधा नहीं, ये देखते रहते हैं कि हम किसको पकड़े, किसको जज करें, किसको फाइनल अथॉरिटी दे। ये सच्चा शिष्य है, ये बुरा शिष्य है, ये सही कर रहा है, ये गलत कर रहा है, इसको ऐसा करना चाहिए था, इसको वैसा करना चाहिए था। ये लोगों का काम धंधा यही है। तो वो उनका कर्म उनको करने दो, जो करना है। आपको देखने वाला, आपको जज करने वाला एक ही है, जो जिसने आपको क्रिएट किया। किसी और को अधिकार नहीं है आपको क्रिएट करने का, आपको जज करने का। जिसने आपको बनाया वो करे ना करे, और मजे की बात यह है कि वो ही नहीं करता, इसलिए उनको भोले बोलते हैं, भोलेनाथ, बड़े भोले हैं, कोई चीज को उनको लेना देना नहीं, जज ही नहीं करता। गॉड इज नेवर अ जज, गॉड इज अनकंडीशनल लव। हर धर्म ने बताया, इस्लाम बताता है, क्रिश्चियनिटी बताता है, हिंदुइज्म बताता है, सिखिज्म बताता है, गॉड इज अनकंडीशनल लव। अनकंडीशनल, कोई कंडीशन अटैच ही नहीं है, तुम ऐसे करो तो मैं तुम्हें प्यार करूंगा या करूंगी, वट एवर द जेंडर यू वांट टू से, इट हैज नथिंग टू डू। इट लव्स यू वॉट एवर यू डू। आप अभी एक सिन करो, आप अभी एक पाप कर्म करो, और आप कमरे के अंदर जाते ही जैसे आपको बोध है मैंने एक पाप कर दिया, आप खुद को जज करके खुद पनिश कर लोगे, खुद अपने आप को दे दोगे, लेकिन वो फिर भी पनिश नहीं करेगा तुमको, वो फिर भी देखता रहेगा। दैट इज अनकंडीशनल लव ऑफ गॉड। पनिश करने वाले हम ही हैं, हमारा गिल्टी अपने को मारता है, ये इंसान की फितरत है जज करना। दूसरों को नहीं जज कर रहा है तो खुद को तुझ कर लेता है, और जो दूसरों को करता है वो 100% खुद को कर रहा है, और जो खुद को कर रहा है वो 100% दूसरों को करेगा। दिस इज हाउ इट हैपेंस। तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा दुनिया क्या बोलता है, हम उसमें से निकल गए वो सब चीजों से। लोग क्या कहेंगे, कहे ना दो जो कहना है, हम तो वही करेंगे जो लोग कह रहे हैं, ये सिद्ध करने के लिए कि इट इज पॉसिबल विदाउट दैट। क्योंकि सब लोग बिलीफ सिस्टम में इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, ऐसा करने से तौबा तौबा, ये ऐसे ऐसे करना चाहिए, ऐसे, ये बिलीफ पैटर्न्स है जो लोगों ने बांधे हुए, लोगों ने बनाए हुए, ये होता नहीं है ऐसा। So simple to understand but difficult to implement. This is the most beautiful exchange that I'm telling you. भवानी, ये आप आज पहली बार नहीं बोल रहे हो, कम से कम एक डजन बार आपने ये बोला है, कई महीने से बोलते आ रहे हो। तो आप पकड़ो जड़ का फसाद कहाँ है, फसाद का जड़ किधर है। The mind, the ego will always have excuse for not doing something, कारण ढूंढेगा कि कुछ भी मेरे हाथ से अगर नहीं हुआ एक काम, एक कारण ढूंढेगा, लेकिन वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कभी नहीं लेगा। रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लिया तो भी बड़े अच्छे तरीके से ले लिया इसको। ये आप उतना ही नहीं कह रहे हो भवानी, आप अकेले नहीं कह रहे हो, कई लोग कहते हैं इस चीज को। कितना डिफिकल्ट है, इतना कठिन है, बोलने के लिए तो आसान है। अरे बोलने के लिए आसान है, इतना कठिन है। तो ये बेसिक फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड अगर हमने खत्म नहीं किया, पहली कक्षा हमने खत्म नहीं किया, अगर कठिन है तो आप गए कैसे? आप तो 10वीं पहुंच गए, 8वीं पहुंच गए। बातें और चीजें तो वहां वहां की हो रही है, बड़े बड़े लेवल की हो रही है। तो आप यहाँ बोल रहे हो कि यहाँ से आप पास नहीं हुए, तो पहली कक्षा से आप निकले नहीं हो, तो ऊपर कैसे पहुंच गए? लेवल 4th, लेवल 10th, लेवल 30th तक कैसे गए? तो देन यू शुड बी बैक हियर। वही तो उनके पति कह रहे हैं कि जब तक मैं इसको पूर्णता, इसको हासिल ना करूँ, ये स्टेट कंप्लीट, आई एक्सेप्ट माई सेल्फ, अदर्स, आई फॉरगिव माई सेल्फ एंड अदर्स, आई लव माई सेल्फ एंड अदर्स, ये जब तक मेरे लाइफ में आ नहीं जाएगा, तब तक आई विल नॉट गो एंड लर्न एनीथिंग एल्स फ्रॉम दिस गुरु। एंड सो ब्यूटीफुल इज थॉट्स आर। बोलते हैं कि जो आया हाथ में उसको तो हजम कर लूं, उसको जी लो, और मैं बोलूं आगे आपको कुछ ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं बाबा। आपने अगर ये 3 चीज ही तत्व कर लिया, हो गया। द होल ऑफ शिव योग इज दैट, द होल ऑफ दैट गुरु वर्ड्स, द गुरु वाक्यम इज जस्ट दैट। बाकी सब डिफरेंट 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 फॉर्म्स में बात कर रहे हैं, एक ही ट्रुथ वो ये एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं, बता रहे हैं उस चीज। क्योंकि एक बार आपने ये लव और एक्सेप्टेंस चीज आ गई, और वंस इट टर्न्स इनटू अनकंडीशनल लव। मैं लव की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं तो कभी अनकंडीशनल लव के बारे में जिक्र नहीं करता, क्योंकि वो मेरे में है नहीं। तो काहे को ढोंग करे उस चीज को, अनकंडीशनल लव। बट इफ समबडी एक्वायर्स दैट स्टेट ऑफ अनकंडीशनल लव, जो ये दो तत्व कंप्लीट करने में आती है, आप पहुंच गए। एक ज्ञानी, एक सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड इंसान का, पुरुष का, या जो भी व्यक्ति है, सेल्फ रियलाइज का, आत्म साक्षात्कार जिसको हुआ है पूर्णता से, आप देखोगे जो जीवन मुक्त हुआ है कंप्लीटली, आप देखोगे उनका तत्व अनकंडीशनल लव रहेगा, सिर्फ अनकंडीशनल लव, नथिंग एल्स। अब शब्द बयां सब खत्म हुए, अब शब्द बयां का काम नहीं, अब इश्क है पैगाम अपना, और इश्क का कोई पैगाम नहीं। वो स्थिति ऐसी होती है, सिर्फ इश्क से बोलता है फिर, और कुछ नहीं. हिज होल बीइंग विल बी ओनली अनकंडीशनल लव, एंड इट्स अ बिग बिग सूत्र. एक्सेप्टेंस, फॉरगिवनेस एंड अनकंडीशनल लव. ऐसे ही मैं वो वेबिनार वेबिनार नहीं कर रहा हूँ फॉरगिवनेस वाला. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मेरा लाइफ बदला है उस फॉरगिवनेस वाला तत्व. अच्छा, जिसने भी वो साइन अप किए थे, 40 लोग आपने जो भी साइन अप किए थे, उनके लिए एक फ्री सेशन मैं कर रहा हूँ. दैट इज ऑन, आई थिंक आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू दैट. कल परसों, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे, सैटरडे मॉर्निंग 7 to 9. So I will send the link to all those who attended that webinar of forgiveness. तो आपके लिए वो फ्री सेशन में कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे अभी भी थोड़ा अधूरा लगा उस दिन जो मैंने किया. लग रहा था कि टाइम निकल गया. तो ऐसे थोड़ा देर आप प्रैक्टिस करो, फिर हम उस चीज़ को करेंगे. इट विल बी वेरी पावरफुल व्हेन यू डू दैट थिंग्स. ये सब वही मेथड्स है जो मैंने किया अपने लाइफ. गुरु के सानिध्य में आने के बाद जो काफ़ी फायदा हुआ मुझे, बहुत 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 फायदा हुआ. आई कांट एक्सप्लेन. फॉरगिवनेस एक तत्व बहुत पावरफुल चीज़ है. अब कुछ लोग जो उसमें साइन अप किए थे, वो लास्ट में अंत में जब बोल रहे थे, तो उन्होंने बताया, मैं बता नहीं सकती कि मैं सोच रहे थे, मैंने कई सारे प्रतिस्प्रसव किए, उससे कि मुझे क्या ज़रूरत है अभी फॉरगिवनेस वगैरह क्या करना. ये तो निकल गई, लेकिन आज बैठ के देख रहा हूँ तो अभी बहुत है, पता चल रहा है. तो ये हमको पता नहीं चलता कि फॉरगिवनेस है. फॉरगिवनेस क्या करना है. बहुत सारे लोग बोले, वो सीनियर वाले जो भी वो बोलते हैं फॉरगिवनेस है, ये सब, ये हमारी बात, ये हम इससे सब, ये सब हम कर चुके हैं. अब हायर लेवल, समथिंग हायर. तो मैंने जैसे बोला कि आई एम डूइंग दिस पर्पसली इन दिस मंथ. नेक्स्ट मंथ, आफ्टर 1 month, 1 महीने के बाद मैं इनर चाइल्ड हीलिंग के लिए, उसके प्लान से ही मैंने ये 1 महीने पहले ये फॉरगिवनेस वाला रखा. अब यहाँ पे जितने भी आप लोगों ने किया, आप देखोगे वहाँ पे और इजी हो जाएगा. दैट इज इफ यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग दैट. मंथ भूल गए तो फिर और मुश्किल. इस तत्व को अगर प्रैक्टिस करो, आप देखोगे खाली खोखला होते जाओगे, खोखला 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 होते जाओगे. एंड सडनली यू सी ऑल दोस, सडनली आपका वाइब्स चेंज होना शुरू हो जाएगा. वो जो अनसेटल्ड फीलिंग है, वो एक रेस्टलेसनेस है, वो एक तलब है. समझ नहीं आता. बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि एक फियर काइंड ऑफ फैक्टर, हमेशा एक अनईजीनेस, ये सब वही है पकड़ा हुआ. आप सोच रहे हो कोई बड़ा कर्म वर्म अटका है, वो ये कुछ नहीं, यही सब बिखरे हुए. क्योंकि आप आए थे इस जन्म में सबके साथ मुक्त होने के लिए, वो तो हो नहीं पाए. अभी भी कार्मिक डेब्ट्स पड़े हुए हैं, अनसेटल्ड अकाउंट्स पड़े हुए हैं, और आप मुक्ति का मार्ग खोज रहे हो. कहाँ से मुक्ति मिलेगी जब इन चीज़ों को मुक्त नहीं करोगे, इन लोगों को मुक्त नहीं करोगे सबसे पहले. आगे की मुक्ति तो दूर की बात है. तो सिंपल तत्व है. एंड समबडी टोल्ड मी, वो हिंदी में आप कर सकते हो कि, आई थिंक संजीता जी आपने कहा, हिंदी में एक बार कर देता हूँ उस चीज़ को. फॉरगिवनेस वाला एक ये बिफोर दैट इनर चाइल्ड हीलिंग. इनर चाइल्ड हीलिंग भी दोनों हिंदी और इंग्लिश में ही रख रहा हूँ. you'll find a lot of changes after that. These are things which I have done. और ये सब चीज़ें मैंने कहाँ से सीखी मुझे भी मालूम नहीं, अंतर अपने आप आने लग गया. जब भी मैं करता था ये सब अपने आप होता था. So that is what I am sharing in the webinars. So if you are seriously interested in all that, first you have to get rid of these basic. और मैं ये सब बेसिक टीचिंग्स को लेके ही काम कर रहा हूँ, गहराई वाली काम. सिंपल एक्सेप्टेंस, फॉरगिवनेस, अनकंडीशनल, बस इधर इधर ही घूम रहे सब. और कोई हाई हाई है नहीं. पहली बात बताऊं, कोई है हाई लो वाली चीज है नहीं. तत्व का बोध हो गया आपको, सिंपल सीक्रेट्स आपको समझ गया, सब खुल जाएगा. जिसको नहीं समझ आएगा वो उलझे रहेंगे, ढूंढते खोजते, इसको ढूंढो, उसको ढूंढो, ऐसे ढूंढो, वैसे ढूंढो, ए लेवल में ढूंढो, वो लेवल में ढूंढो. करते रहेंगे आप साल भर साल यही सब चीज़. और अपना यहाँ पे गोल एजेंडा भी वेरी क्लियर है. मैंने बोला है कि अगर आप इन सब चीज़ों को पकड़ रहे हो, एक दिन छूटना भी चाहिए ये सब चीज़ें आपके हाथ से. यही पकड़ के जिंदगी भर यही करते बैठना है आपको, वेबिनार्स करना है, ये करना है, फिर आप चूक गए. आसमान से गिरा खजूर में अटका. ये बोध साइड बाय साइड होना चाहिए कि मैं कितना मुक्त हो रहा हूँ या मुक्त हो रही हूँ. कितने अंदर से जागृत हो रहा है, कितना मेरा विवेक जागृत हो रहा है, कितना मेरा अवेयरनेस जागृत हो रहा है, कितना मैं अपने आप को अकेला अभी इंडिपेंडेंटली संभाल पा रहा हूँ या पा रही हूँ। वहाँ आपकी मुक्ति है। ये नहीं कि आप इन्हीं सब चीज़ों को पकड़े रहो। और मेरा भी कोई लंबा सिलसिला नहीं है इसमें कि सालों साल बैठूं यही करते। मुझे अपनी भी यात्रा में मैं एक दिन ऐसा भी आ जाएगा, मौन हो जाएगा, सब बंद अपने आप। तो उद्देश्य होना चाहिए, दैट थिंग शुड बी वेरी क्लियर टू यू। ऐसा नहीं कि करे जा रहे हो करे जा रहे हो करे, मैं भी ऐसे ही सेशन करे जा रहा हूँ वेबिनार, ऐसा नहीं होता। यू कैन फोरसी थिंग, दिखता है थोड़ा धुंधला धुंधला है तो भी ओके, इट्स हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स दैट जोन। तो है, जब तक यात्रा है, जो भी मैं बोला ना, जैसे जो भी लाइफ आपको फेंके, जहाँ पे भी फेंके, जैसे भी फेंके, जो भी आपकी डेस्टिनी खुलते जा रही है, जो आपके सामने आ रहा है, उसको स्वीकार करो। मैं इन सब चीज़ों को गुरु प्रसाद समझ के स्वीकार करता हूँ, परमात्मा प्रसाद समझ के स्वीकार करता हूँ और चलता हूँ। और जिस दिन नहीं भी हुआ तो भी उसको प्रसाद समझ के स्वीकार करता हूँ, क्योंकि सब वही कर्म का ही एक ये है, जो भी खुलासा 16 झंडा का ही एक पार्ट है। तो हम सब क्यों नहीं बन सकते वैसे? जो भी हमारे लाइफ में आ रहा है, जो भी हमारा काम बन रहा है, जैसे भी बन रहा है, जीते जाएं उस चीज़ को न्यूट्रल होके। और जितना गठबंधन है वो काटते जाएं, धीरे धीरे कर प्रयास करके काटें। कोई और नहीं करना है, अध्यात्म और कुछ नहीं है। जितना कार्मिक डेप्ट है उसको निपटाओ, बस वापस नहीं आना है। और न्यूट्रलिटी से निपटा सकते हो। और न्यूट्रल कैसे हो जाए पूछे तो अवेयरनेस प्रैक्टिस। जितना भी अवेयरनेस प्रैक्टिस में करा रहा हूँ वही न्यूट्रल बनने की है, सेल्फ विड्रॉ होने की है, दूसरों के झमेलों में नहीं पड़ने की है, अनवांटेड एरियाज में दिमाग डालने वाली बात नहीं है। सब वहाँ से यू आर पुलिंग ऑल योर प्राणा वेयर यू हैव इन्वेस्टेड एवरीवेयर, scattered everywhere, you are pulling now into your being, and that prana you are using for your ऊर्ध्वगामी, ऊर्ध्व रेता करके, आपके ही इसके लिए, हित के लिए। तो आपके इसमें आप यूज नहीं कर सकते हो जब तक आप सभी तरफ इन्वेस्ट करके रखे हो, सारे रिलेशन में, सारे प्रॉब्लम में, सारे दुनियादारी में, सारे तरह के झमेलों में, सारे डिजायर्स में, वासनाओं में, ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, खत्म ही नहीं होता दौड़। सब तरफ अटका के बैठे हैं और फिर तड़प भी रहे हैं। तो जब तक ये क्लैरिटी नहीं आएगी, बड़ा मुश्किल है, बड़ा मुश्किल है। पीड़ा पीड़ा वाली यात्रा है पूरा। थैंक यू भैया, आई लव यू अनकंडीशनली, थैंक यू फॉर unfolding my Baba's teaching which I did not understand before। तो इसलिए एवरी संडे बैठ के हम लोग वही चिंतन कर रहे हैं कि गुरुदेव ने क्या सिखाया। तो मैं कोई रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, वो कोई इंस्टीट्यूशन रिप्रेजेंट कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मुझे मेरा जो इंटरप्रिटेशन है मेरे गुरु का, वो मैं बता रहा हूँ। मैंने उसको ऐसे समझा, ऐसे सीखा, ऐसे ग्रहण किया, ऐसे उतारा, और ऐसे ऐसे उसका फल मिला, वो मैं डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ। तो कोई मुझे बोल भी नहीं सकता कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, किसने अधिकार दिया आपको बोलने का, कोई बोल ही नहीं सकता। मेरा नाम नहीं है, मेरा टाइटल नहीं है, ये शिफ्टिंग इनटू अवेयरनेस, कंप्लीटली इंडिपेंडेंट, इतना फ्री लगता है। कोई बंधन नहीं है, कोई जकड़ने वाला, पकड़ने वाला, कोई बोलने वाला, कोई क्वेश्चन करने वाला, कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबल बनाना है ही नहीं। कोई चीज ऐसे तत्व मैंने इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं रखा। ये सब कृपा से, गुरु कृपा से, अरुणाचला कृपा, सब बन गया ऐसे। तो यहाँ बैठ के अभी मैं इंडिपेंडेंटली, बिना गोलियां खाए बोल सकता हूँ अपने गुरु के बारे में, गर्व से बोल सकता हूँ और बिंदास होके बोल सकता हूँ। क्योंकि ये यहाँ पे कोई पकड़ नहीं सकता, कोई चीज से बांध नहीं सकता मुझे। ठीक है, आई थिंक देन वी हैव डन विद टुडेज। आज का भी तत्व बहुत अच्छा था। एंड व्हाट यू आस्क्ड ऐश्वर्या, आई थिंक इट्स वेरी क्लियर, व्हाटएवर आई स्पोक इट इज द सेम थिंग। हर हाल में खुश, यानी कि देखो, ऐसे जब आप करते रहोगे ये सब चीजें, ये मेरे गुरु का टीचिंग्स लेके मुझे तो हर हाल में खुश लग रहा है। पूरा 100% नहीं रहेगा, यहाँ वहाँ रहेगा, ठीक है, बट इट्स वेरी इजीली मैनेज, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। तो आई थिंक all these teachings, simple teachings, if you just understand it, it will take you to हर हाल में खुश होंगे। सिंपल सिंपल। थैंक यू। अभी मैं वेट करता हूँ थोड़ा देर, लास्ट में फिल्म जब खत्म होता है ना, ऐसे सबटाइटल चलते हैं। करो करो, मजाक करो, करो करो, थैंक वैंक कर लो, मैं थोड़ा सब क्रेडिट ले लेता हूँ। एंड आई विल नॉट टेक एनीबॉडीज नेम, नॉट इवन गॉड्स नेम। रुक क्यों गए यार, चलाओ, मजाक कर रहा हूँ। सी यू विल सी कि हर एक चीज में इसमें मजाक, यू कैन, यू कैन सी ह्यूमर इन एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ लाइफ, एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड व्हेन यू लाफ दैट, दैट चेयरफुलनेस विल बी देयर। इसको हर हाल, मेरे ख्याल से ये हर हाल में खुशी है। ओके देन आई थिंक आई विल कम बैक नेक्स्ट थर्सडे, नेक्स्ट थर्सडे आई डोंट नो क्या डेट है। ओके, कांजंगाड़ तो बाद में है किसी। ग्रेट लर्निंग, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू मनीषा जी। Puneet Agarwal, the energy of freedom that you are spilling is really infectious. I am able to feel ever since attended first session. ओके, अब तो तिरुवണ്ണामलाई में भी देख चुके हो सब चीजें, कितना मुक्त लगता है। 3 दिन कंप्लीट फ्रीडम में सारे बैठे, अलग ही दुनिया में, कंप्लीटली चेयरफुलनेस, ब्लिसफुलनेस, साइलेंस, डीप मेडिटेशन, डीप कनेक्टिविटी, प्योरिटी, कितना अलग माहौल। और ये अरुणाचला, नहीं नहीं, अरुणाचला का हमने सानिध्य लिया, ये आपके अंदर ही आपने क्रिएट किया, एक माहौल हमने क्रिएट किया तो वो बन गया। वो एनवायरनमेंट अपने को क्रिएट करना पड़ता है। अभी मैंने कोई जादू तो नहीं किया वहाँ पे, एक चीज एनवायरनमेंट हमने ऐसी बनाई, वो पावरफुल जगह में उसका हेल्प ले लिया, और कुछ चीज ऐसे करे वहाँ पे वो बहुत होने के लिए, जस्ट हैपेंड। सो दैट कैन बी डन फ्रॉम एनीवेयर आल्सो, इट्स नॉट दैट। अभी देखो कांजंगाड़ है, जरूरी नहीं कि वो उधर ही, कानंगाड़ में भी सेम इफेक्ट आएगा, सेम इफेक्ट। और ओके, रियली अरुणाचल कैन एंड कैन फील इट एनीवेयर। टुडे आई वाज इन दक्षिणेश्वर एंड सेम ब्लिस, डिवाइन मदर इन अवेयरनेस। बहुत अच्छी बात। एवरीथिंग इज ओके, माय टेक अवे फ्रॉम तिरुवन्नामलाई, लास्ट एक्सपेंस आई शेयर्ड वाज एन, आई शेयर्ड वाज माय ओन। ओके, लास्ट एक्सपीरियंस आई शेयर्ड वाज माय ओन। ओके, वन रिक्वेस्ट, कैन आई हैव गणेश पुरी नित्यानंद भगवान समाधि मंदिर कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर प्लीज? देयर इज नो कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर, यू विल फाइंड इट वेरी इजीली। बट आपको क्यों चाहिए मनीषा जी गणेशपुरी की, किस चीज़ के लिए चाहिए कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर समाधि मंदिर की? वो तो ऐसे ही मिल जाएगा आपको, लेकिन क्यों चाहिए बताइए तो आई कैन गाइड यू व्हाट यू वांट फ्रॉम दैट। आप जब भी वहाँ जाए, गणेशपुरी जाए, तो आप रामू काका को मिलिए, he will help you, and there are other people also whom I can direct you, but if you tell me what it is, Baba ji is my Gurudev and I visit to मंदिर। हाँ, आपको जाना है तो आप ऐसे ही विजिट कर सकते हो, अगर आप सुबह जा रहे हो शाम को आ रहे हो तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन आपको रुकना है और कोई रूम का चाहिए तो मैं फिर बता देता हूँ। रामू काका को अपनी पकड़ा तो कि ठीक है, नहीं तो आप या मुझे पर्सनल मैसेज डालिए, मेरे कोई कहीं भी कांटेक्ट कर दीजिए, मैं आपको कुछ नंबर दे देता हूँ, रूम्स के चाहिए तो रूम्स का दे देता हूँ, और कोई हेल्प चाहिए वहाँ पे जाना है, आपको कहीं जगह जाना है, तो मैं आई विल डायरेक्ट यू टू दैट पर्सन हु कैन हेल्प यू। अगर कोई टैक्सीज की ज़रूरत है वो करा देता हूँ, मतलब आप स्पेसिफाई करो तो उस हिसाब से मैं आप बता देता हूँ। लेकिन मंदिर में आप वहाँ का नंबर लेके देर, वहाँ पे ऐसी कोई सेवा नहीं है कि दे विल, और फ़ोन पे कुछ भी नहीं होता, आपको वहाँ पर्सनली जाना पड़ता है, आधार कार्ड दिखाना होगा, वो सब डॉक्यूमेंट्स रखना होगा, फिर आपको रूम वूम सब इश्यू हो जाता है। तो यू कैन ईदर स्टे फ्रॉम देयर और यू कैन स्टे इन अदर प्राइवेट प्लेसेस ऑल्सो। मैं प्राइवेट प्लेसेस में रहता हूँ। सो टेल मी वट एवर यू वांट, आप लिख लिख दो मुझे यहाँ पे, नहीं तो आप इधर कांटेक्ट करो फेसबुक के इस पे। फेसबुक पे नहीं हो तो शिफ्टिंग टू अवेयरनेस @gmail.com। अब लिखो, आई विल हेल्प यू देयर, वट एवर हेल्प यू वांट फ्रॉम देयर, आई विल गिव यू देयर नंबर्स। हाउ टू कॉन्टैक्ट यू रिगार्डिंग दिस, एक मिनट मैं आपको यहीं पे ईमेल टाइप कर दूँ। यस, शिफ्टिंग टू अवेयरनेस @gmail.com, मुझे आप ईमेल लिख दीजिए और आपको क्या चाहिए उसमें स्पेसिफाई कर दीजिए, मैं आपको दे देता हूँ जिसका भी नंबर आपको लगेगा। जो भी आप वहाँ करना चाहते हैं, देखना चाहते हैं, रहना चाहते हैं, जो भी बता दीजिए। वो तो हमारा बाबा का स्थान है। वहाँ पे एक बहुत अच्छे शख्स है, बहुत सिंपल सा वन मैन, डोंट टू टेक हिज नेम, ही वर्क्स फॉर द आश्रम ओनली, बट सो मच ऑफ लव, इतना प्यार है। मैं जब भी वहाँ जाता हूँ उसको पता चला, ही विल कम विथ डब्बा घर से, रोटी बनाते वो चावल की रोटी बनाते वो लोग, उनकी बीवी पकाई, बोले आप दे दो, भैया को दे दो, और वो मुझे ढूंढ के 10 बार फ़ोन करके मिस कॉल्स भरे पड़े रहेंगे, यहाँ वहाँ ढूंढ के कैसे भी आके पकड़ के, आपने खाना खाया, मैं आपको डब्बा ले आ रहा हूँ, एंड ब्रिंग डब्बा। सुबह दोपहर का हो, रात का हो, यू विल गेट मी। तो वहाँ पे भी एक बाबा का शायद ये है कि वहाँ घर का खाना मिल जाता है, और वो बहुत क्लोज रहे हैं, मुक्तानंद बाबा के आश्रम में काम कर चुके हैं और गुरु माई के साथ रह चुके हैं वहाँ क्लोजली। और उनके पिता जो थे वो नित्यानंद बाबा के उस टाइम पे, गोविंद स्वामी जो थे नित्यानंद बाबा के जो शिष्य थे, उनके घर पे सेवा करते थे गोविंद स्वामी का। तो वेरी नाइस ह्यूमन बीइंग। और हमारा एक बार ऐसा सिलसिला हुआ कि वी वर जस्ट मूविंग अराउंड एंड ही वाज टॉकिंग टू मी, ऐसे ही बात कर रहे थे, आप कहाँ से आए हो, केरल से लग रहे हो, मैं बोला हाँ वहाँ साउथ से आया हूँ। अच्छा आप कांजनगढ़ गए हो, मैं बोला हाँ, जाते रहता हूँ ऐसे ऐसे। और मेरा इतना इच्छा हुआ, आपको पता है ऐसे हो गया वैसा हो गया, 2 बार मेरा जाते जाते सर रह गया ऐसे प्रॉब्लम ऐसे। तो खड़े खड़े वो बात कर रहे थे, मैंने यहाँ पे वैसे मोबाइल ऑन किया और मैं बोला आप कब जाना चाह रहे थे, वैसे ऐसे नहीं वो टिकट नहीं मिलता, ये नहीं होता, कुछ कुछ बता रहे थे। तो खड़े खड़े हो गए, वो बुक हो गया टिकट। मैं बोला ये लो टिकट जाओ, ही वाज सो हैप्पी एंड ही वेंट एंड उनका 4-5 दिन का कुछ था, अप एंड डाउन दोनों, मैंने टिकट दे दिया। ही वाज वेरी हैप्पी, ही वेंट डाउन एंड फिर वो 3-4 दिन में वो नीचे कोयलांडी गए जहाँ बाबा मिले थे, वहाँ गए, कहीं कहीं क्षेत्र में गुरुवन गए, एवरीथिंग, एंड यूज्ड टू गिव मी एन अपडेट, आज वैसे किया ऐसे किया ये किया। आई वाज ट्रैवलिंग दैट टाइम। तो बहुत बहुत खुश हुए। और वापस जब आए तो उसके बाद से फिर वो हमारा ये नाता बना, जब भी वहाँ जाता हूँ। सो आई कैन गाइड यू टू दैट पर्सन ऑल्सो, नॉट एवरीबडी, आई नो होम टू गाइड वेयर। तो आप मुझे बताओ आपको क्या लगेगा, उसके हिसाब से मैं उधर, काफ़ी सारे बहुत अच्छे अच्छे लोग हैं, मैं उनके पास आपको वहाँ हो, कंजनगढ़ हो, तिरुवन्नामलई हो, ये 3 जगह अपना आना जाना रहता है, तो हो जाता है। तो शार्प 12 o'clock। अरे वाह। तो विद दिस आई टेक योर लीव टुडे एंड आई विल मीट अप विद यू टुमारो। कुछ नहीं है, आई थिंक डे आफ्टर टुमारो वी हैव डायरेक्टली द उपदेश सारम, सो आई वोंट बी लाइव और आई थिंक कपल ऑफ डेज नाउ। संडे भी नहीं आ पाऊंगा बिकॉज संडे वी हैव मॉर्निंग दैट फ्री सेशन, जो भी जिसने भी फॉरगिवनेस किया था 2 2 आवर्स उनके लिए हैं, और फिर दोपहर को 2 बजे से लेके उपदेश सारम हिंदी में होगा। सो आई थिंक आई विल कैच अप विथ यू डायरेक्टली ऑन मंडे for the life. With lots of divine love and light to all of you. Maybe all evolve, maybe all be free. Gurudev Sharanam, Guru Mandala. Say blessed. Bye.